Can the Gatemen make it a sixth straight win tonight? We'll find out in just a little bit. For now, he's Josh Richardson. I'm Cory Miller on the Gatemen pregame show. Josh, Wareham is red hot. 5 straight wins. They're now tied for first in the West Division, trying for their 6th straight win against the Mariners tonight. How do they get it done?
Well, they're playing really well. 5 straight, 6 of the last 7. Everything's really been turning around completely. The team is just really getting, hot at the right time. It couldn't come at a better point in the season. You're at the midway point. Jumped all the way up to first place in the West Division. It really is just huge for Wareham. Now you have to keep that momentum building into today.
And part of what makes tonight's matchup really fascinating, you have the best offense in the league in Wareham, first in the league in runs scored, versus Harwich, first in the league in ERA, hitting versus pitching.
Yeah, and each of them have kind of won a battle so far this season. Harwich leads the season series 2-1, but that first game, Wareham won 5-2. The second was a 3-2 walk-off for the Mariners. The third, Harwich came at Stony Brook Field, took it in extras 6-5, scored 2 runs in the 9th inning to tie the game and then win it in extras. So now you have to battle back. You have to try and just keep riding that hot winning streak that you've been on, keep scoring runs, and just capitalize off of that.
Well, for more on tonight's matchup, we'll send it over to our sideline reporter, Rayna Maggelet.
Rayna Maggelet joins alongside Wareham Gatemen right-handed pitcher Caden McDonald. So, Caden, you were our starting pitcher yesterday. You had 6 strikeouts in your 5 innings pitched. What pitches were really working for you up on the mound?
Just trying to command my fastball, get ahead of hitters, and the curveball was working really good. Kind of threw him off balance, and then threw in the changeup to lefties, and just tried to really keep him off balance, mix up pitches really well, and just keep throwing strikes.
Following with that, you got the Cod Ball Pitcher of the Day yesterday. What did those type of accomplishments mean to you?
It was really cool. Obviously, you see a lot of really good pitchers get that day in, day out, and then pitcher of the week and all that. So, I do think that I deserved it, and, it was a good way to cap off a good day yesterday.
Last question. You've been here since opening day. What do you think have been your most successful and what you really benefited the most here in the Gatemen?
Just getting the reps in and kind of just sticking with the process the whole time. It's already been a long summer with more to come. So, just kind of sticking with it day in, day out, and just embracing the grind, I think has really helped me, for the future as well.
All right. Well, good luck tonight. Thank you. Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
The Gatemen looking to make it 6 straight wins. They've won 6 of their last 7 and have ascended from 5th place to 1st place in the West Division standings, taking on the Harwich Mariners just a couple minutes away from first pitch action as we welcome you back to Spillane Field alongside Josh Richardson. I'm Cory Miller. Josh, you really almost can't say enough good things about the way the Gatemen have played since ending that early July skid, losing the first 5 games of the month to open July. But they have really found their groove, and deservedly so, at the top of the division right now.
Yeah, it's really been an impressive turnaround when you look at where they were versus how they've progressed into the spot that they're in now atop that West Division. That was something, Cory, that we just couldn't see happening at least, about a week or 2 ago. Gatemen went from 6-12 on the season, now 12-13 it's so impressive. It really is. There's nothing you can really say to kind of put it all into words unless you've watched and listened in to everything that they've been doing. Just everything has been working out so well. But now you have to keep that momentum going, and you have to build off of it and try and, just keep winning every day.
And obviously a lot of focus is going to be on what the Gatemen have done, but they really haven't done it alone, because when you look at those West Division standings as they get set to take the field here, Cotuit's right there with them, top of the division, tied at that 24-point mark. Cotuit's really risen the ranks too.
Yeah, but it also helps that everybody else has kind of been losing around them. You look at Hyannis, the team that had been in first place since opening day when they came into Spillane Field and beat the Gatemen. They're 2-7-1 over the last 10. Falmouth was right behind the Harbor Hawks. The Commodores are now 4-6 in their last 10. I mean, everybody's kind of been falling off. Cotuit has been rising and, steadily climbing up the ranks. Same amount of points as the Gatemen. Wareham does have a .002 higher win percentage, though, so in that top spot in the West Division. But, yeah, I mean, it's certainly they've played well and they've needed some help to get to the spot that they are, but you're not going to complain when those things happen.
The Gatemen and the Kettleers play tomorrow at Cotuit. But when you look at the scores right now, YD in action against the Kettleers, the Red Sox are up by 4, 5-1. So if that game holds in the top of the fourth right now, still a long ways to go, and the Gatemen can come out with the win, they will have sole possession of first place in the West.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But you mentioned it. There's a lot of game left to be played. Kettleers have been, battling in every single game this season, especially over this last month so far. I mean, if they can pull that comeback off, Falmouth and Brewster are tied 1-1, so if the Whitecaps can get back in the win column after the Gatemen beat them yesterday, could give Wareham some more breathing room from Falmouth. But again, I mean, you're going to play your own division one more time each than everyone else in the East. So those games are just so important. That's why the Gatemen have a full weekend slate coming up of them pretty soon.
Wareham has taken the field defensively, getting in his warm-up pitches. Daniel Powell, the righty out of Kennesaw State. We've seen him mostly as a starter. Went to the bullpen briefly, but back on the mound getting the start for the Gatemen this evening.
Yeah, his first few appearances of the year came in a starter's capacity, and then his last time out was out of the bullpen in relief. That came against Brewster. He was 2 hits, just 1 hit, 2 runs allowed. Before that, 3 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs against Bourne. So he had made 5 starts, and he pitched all right. He had a couple really good starts, and then against Hyannis on the 20th of June, 5 runs and 3 1/3 innings. Talked about him. He has that great sinker, Cory, and if he can keep that sinker down, he's going to be a lot more of an effective pitcher than he can be when he leaves it elevated for some of these Harwich batters.
And the good news for Powell is he's facing a Harwich team last across the Cape in average and runs. When we get a look at that visiting lineup, it starts with Trey Broussard at the top, leads things off in center field. Tanner Marsh, the shortstop, bats second. Batting third, the DH, Aiden Robbins. Kyle Wolf cleans things up. He's at first base. D. Kennedy, the third baseman, bats sixth. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Nico Brini. Matt Conti, a catcher, bats seventh. Jay Kuhn, the right fielder, bats eighth. And rounding things out, Shintaro Inoue, the second baseman.
Yeah, and when you look at the season as a whole, Harwich has the best ERA across Cape Cod. Of course, things have changed a little bit over the last week or so, starting to lose. And when you look at the ERA in a shorter span, definitely worse off in that sense. But at the same time, the bats have just not been there for a majority of this season. And it's been difficult for them, at least hitting-wise. They're grinding out games, squeaking away with wins. And now you're coming against the Gatemen team that's just been firing on all cylinders. It's a tough break for the Mariners, but the last time they were here, they won. Gatemen trying to split the season series.
Wareham won that first game of the summer against Harwich. Dropped the next 2. Powell on the mound's ready, raises the glove, into the windup, comes home. First pitch from Spillane Field tonight, misses inside. Ball 1 on Trey Broussard, who comes in at 281, no homers, 4 RBIs. Harwich enters 11-10-3. That's third place in the East Division. 1-0 pitch to Broussard, squares it up, high fly ball into center field. In pursuit is Cruson. He won't get there as it bounces off of the wall. Broussard into second, he holds up there. Cruson gets it in past Turner. A leadoff double, second pitch of the game, and And Broussard's in scoring position.
Yeah, we talked about the team as a whole not having a very high batting average, but these top two guys for the Mariners, Broussard and now Tanner Marsh coming up to bat, these two at 281 and 295 respectively, and Aiden Robbins at 279. After that, a significant drop-off, nobody above 250. So if you can get through the top of this order, makes things a lot easier if you're Powell, but you have to be able to get through that. Now Broussard on second, leadoff double.
It's definitely been mixed results for Powell this summer. Leadoff man already in scoring position. Showing bunt is Marsh. Takes a called strike.
That's a part of that. Trying to play a little bit small ball there if you're Marsh. See if he tries to drop another bunt down. That was just for show.
Small ball certainly worked for the Gatemen to score that go-ahead run in last night's win over Brewster. Marsh here facing an 0-1 pitch. Comes in hitting 295. No homers, 3 RBIs. Now 1-1. The Gatemen in, they're 12-13 overall off of that 4-3 win over Brewster last night. We're no-hitting the Whitecaps through nearly 8 innings of play before on one hit, the no-hitter was gone, the lead was gone as the Whitecaps came back to tie things up on a 2-run single. Turner has to dive across just to keep that ball from going into center field.
Interesting decision from Powell to throw off at that point. Turner was nowhere near the base. Didn't cost him, though.
Turner appeared as a defensive replacement last night at third, starting here at second. A 1-1 pitch. Fastball sails high, 2-1.
Broussard's getting a big secondary lead. I wouldn't be surprised to see if he's just waiting to time something up against Powell.
When you look at offensive statistics, Harwich at the bottom of the league in most everything. Stolen bases, though, an exception. Tied for third with the Gatemen with 41 steals, 41 of 52. As Powell now has worked the count to 3-1 on the shortstop Marsh.
Yeah, 3 straight balls here against Marsh. Powell's just losing them.
Aiden Robbins on deck.
Yeah, maybe a little bit distracted from Broussard on second, but either way.
Powell's 3-1. Popped him up out of play.
You brought up the records, Cory, and it just kind of shows how much everybody has beat each other up in the West. 4th place in the East would be 1st place in the West. Orleans at 12-11-2. Harwich just above them at 11-10-3. That'd be good for first.
Powell's payoff pitch on the way. Just misses a little bit outside. Marsh works the walk. 2 on for the Mariners to start this one. And the interesting thing, too, when you look at the Firebirds in 4th place in the East, them and the Gatemen were last place in their respective divisions, but now Orleans has rattled off a couple of wins and haven't been able to ascend the standings the same way Wareham has, given that there's a bunch of teams ahead of them over 500. But 2 teams that some might have written off have come back. Orleans had that 7-2 win over this Mariners team last night.
Yeah, Orleans has quietly won 4 straight. Definitely a team to watch out for, but the Gatemen have taken 2 out of 4, or 2 out of 3 so far this season, with the 4th coming up.
1-0 now on Aiden Robbins. 279 hitter, 2 homers for the DH. Out of Seton Hall, was in the transfer portal, recently committing to Texas. 2 already on against Daniel Powell. A double and a walk. Now a 1-0 pitch to Robbins. Breaking ball. Finds the outside corner, 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, you just need to locate at this point if you're Powell. You can't really afford to play with anything on the base paths. Just need to deliver to home and make good pitches.
Facing a potent bat and Robbins out of Yardley, Pennsylvania. Holy Ghost Prep. Just finished his sophomore year at Seton Hall. 2 runners on for him. Powell looks at Broussard, and now comes home. Popped him up, drifting out of play. Count goes to 1-2.
Now you're ahead in the count. It's the first time he's had 2 strikes on a batter and been ahead. Marsh had that full pitch or full count walk.
As we've talked about, Powell's appeared in a lot of games for the Gatemen. 5 games, 4 starts. Check in over at first. Diving back safely was Marsh. Powell was the Gatemen's opening day starter all the way back in June. Had a brief stint in the bullpen, but right now back in the starting rotation. Early jam, top of the first, 1-2 pitch. Half-hearted swing by Robbins. Appeal to first. He went around. So Robbins set down for the first out of the game. Broussard and Marsh still on base.
Yeah, it's been a month and 2 days since opening day, Corey.
It's hard to believe, really is.
It's crazy how fast the season has gone so far. Nearly 75% of the way there. At least the regular season, that is.
Two teams playing tonight that are currently in playoff position as things stand. Top 4 teams in each division. 4 out of 5 make the playoffs. That was Jeff Merzel down the first base line making that call. Powell's pitch now to Kyle Wolf. Half-hearted swing, weak roller down the third base line. Powell fields and throws it into right field. Broussard around to score. Marsh getting the wave around now. He will come in to score. And on a throwing error by Daniel Powell, it's the Mariners who strike first, 2-0.
And look, I know you can throw 91, 92 miles an hour, but I mean, how many times have we seen, whether it be Van Shayen at third, Caius Gargett at the hot corner, anybody over at third, charge in on a ball and just not even attempt to make the throw because they know that the risk reward is just not there. And it costs the Gatemen early.
Wolf stands on its second. Just that weak check swing bouncer down the third base line. First pitch now to D. Kennedy. Takes a ball. Kennedy 250, a homer, 11 RBIs.
And he tried to take some off of it, but just ended up mislocating. Just not a smart decision from Powell early on in this game.
I mean, he didn't give McHugh a chance over at first.
Not at all.
1-0 to Kennedy. Laced into left field. It's down for a base hit. Wolf held at third. He's 90 feet away. Base hit by D. Kennedy. Second hit of the frame for the Mariners. Runners on the corners with just one away.
I think you might see just a mound visit to calm Powell down. Maybe not right here, but pretty soon. Has not been a great start to the first inning for the Gatemen. That ball was just laced into left field. Nice hit from Kennedy. You still just have the one out.
Official scoring on that Wolf hit was a single and then an E1 charged to Daniel Powell on the throw. So make it now the third hit of the inning for the Mariners. Runners on the corners for Brini. Tries to lay down a bunt, pops it up off the netting down the third base line. Over the course of this win streak, we've been accustomed to the Gatemen scoring first, getting out in front, setting the tone early, but here it's the Mariners. Already plated 2, threatening for more. This Harwich team came in not even having scored 100 runs across the summer so far, 99. That's last place across the Cape.
It's not a good sign when you give up 2 in the first inning.
0-1 pitch. Did Brini go? He did not, says Jeff Kenny. 1-1 on the left fielder, Brini. 169 hitter, a homer, and 8 RBIs for the left fielder. Wolf on at third, Kennedy on at first. Top of the first, Powell in trouble, already 2 runs in. 1-1 pitch in the dirt, smothered by Carnes behind home plate.
And he's just not even close at this point to the zone. He's got 19 pitches, 9 strikes.
Behind the count here to Nico Brini. Kicks and fires. Another pitch that misses low. Rest of the defense behind Powell. Ritchie, Cruz, and Breifogel left to right in the outfield. Shea and Ramirez, Turner, McHugh third to first across the infield. And Hunter Carnes behind home plate. If Brini reaches, Matt Conti will be the next to hit for Harwich. It's 3-1 on the Mariners left fielder as he sprays that one foul. Again, the Gatemen have dropped back-to-back matchups against the Mariners. Last played on July 2nd. Wareham held a 2-run 9th inning lead here at Spillane Field before everything kind of came undone. Harwich took it, tied the game in the ninth, won in extras. Full count pitch, high fly ball. Down the first base line, McHugh turns, gives it a chase, but it lands foul.
Yeah, and both of the losses, they've been in the whole time. I mean, the first was 3-2 on a walk-off back at White House Field. That was in late June, and the second time you mentioned it here. A game that Gatemen should have won, plain and simple, but didn't come away with the dub. But every day's a new day, and they've really just turned the season around since then.
Yeah, that July 2nd loss was one of those losses over the course of that 5-game skid to open July. Another full count pitch. Runner takes off for second as Brini floats it into shallow left field. Ramirez sprinting out, settles under it. He gets there. Wolf will fake the tag. Throw comes back to first. They got him. 2 for the price of 1. Chris Ramirez tracks down the pop-up, the bullet to first. Daniel Powell escapes the inning without any more damage allowed. The Mariners strike first, 2-0 after the top of the first. The Gatemen coming to bat in the bottom half of the inning on Cape League TV.
Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
The Gatemen have some work to do as they head to the plate for the first time in the bottom of the first, down 2-0 after 2 came in to score against Daniel Pound to open the game. And it's a tough assignment against this Harwich Mariners pitching staff, including Tom Chmielewski, the southpaw on the mound out of North Carolina.
Yeah, and this is the thing with Chmielewski that can give the Gatemen some optimism, is that this is his first start of the season. Saw what happened with Lance Davis yesterday, who made his first start of the Whitecaps season against the Gatemen. Wareham came away with a win, albeit he pitched pretty well, but not compared to what he did out of the bullpen when Brewster played Wareham here, 4 perfect innings. Chmielewski comes in 2.08 ERA in 8 2/3 innings. He's pitched well, 10 strikeouts. He's a good lefty on the mound for you to try and change up some things, but he's doing well.
And the red-hot Gatemen lineup he has to face: Cruson, Carnes, McHugh, 1 through 3 to lead things off. McDonald, Ritchie, Turner, 4 through 6. Van Shane, Breyfogle, Ramirez, 7 through 9 to face Chmielewski.
Yeah, no Braden Randall in the lineup. Levi Clark obviously released. You could look at it and say, well, you know what, the Gatemen could be a little bit depleted on the offensive end, but at the same time you can say, well, you know what, everybody's stepping up even without them.
Chase Cruson, who's been swinging a hot bat, in the leadoff spot now. We saw him in the heart of the order yesterday. Lefty-on-lefty matchup to start things off for Wareham. 0-1 pitch to him. At the knees on a fastball, called strike 2. Cruson right at 300, no homers, 4 RBIs entering play. UCF outfielder currently in the portal. Big wave and a miss, 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Cruson down to begin the home half of the first. As we get a look at the defensive alignment behind Chmielewski, in the outfield it's Brini, Broussard, Coonan, Kennedy, Marsh, Inouye, Wolf, third to first across the infield, and Conti does the catching for the lefty. Brings up Hunter Carnes after the Cruson strikeout. Carnes a bit of a slump right now, average down to 325, a homer, 7 RBIs. Just a couple games ago was right around that 400 mark.
Yeah, he's 1 for his last 13. But again, when you're 1 for your last 13 and your batting average is still 325.
Pretty good. And he's been right at the top of this order, whether it's second, whether it's third, elevate a little bit since Levi Clark has gone back to Tennessee. The Gatemen need some offensive production against a really talented Mariners pitching staff tonight as the 2-0 pitch is popped foul down the right field line. Wolf turns, gives it a chase, and it lands in between him and Coonan. But the Mariners enter play atop of the league with a 3.26 ERA, but lately it's been a bit of a struggle for the Mariners.
It has. When you look at over the past 7 days, things are completely different. The Gatemen, over the course of this season as a whole, come in 6th in ERA, 4.41. But if you look over the last 7 days, heading into today, the Gatemen were a 2.5, and Harwich was right around 6. So the Gatemen were number 1 across the entire league over the last 7 days in ERA. Harwich, 9th.
So the overarching trends coming in was offense against defense. Wareham the offense, as it'll be a 2-2 here. Hunter Carnes lays off that fastball up in the zone. But when you look at the recent trends, obviously Wareham, it's kind of been a whole team effort. So they're just as good, as you said, the last 7 days pitching-wise compared to Harwich. Payoff pitch, weak roller foul.
And it's showing that they can beat anyone on any given day. I mean, you've taken down Brewster twice this season. At yesterday's game, they were the number 1 team in the East, number 1 team across all of Cape Cod. YD with 1 less loss than the Whitecaps. So that changes things a little.
Another 3-2 pitch. Fouled off of Carnes' foot. Shakes it off. Will be another payoff pitch coming.
But when you look at Wareham against the rest of the West, they're 1-1 against Kituitt. They're 2-1 against Falmouth, 2-1 against Hyannis, and 1-2 against Bourne. Bourne's in last place in those losses.
Weather affected.
Yeah, you could say that at the least. And then against the East, 1-2 against YD, but they have a win. Not a whole lot of teams have been able to do that, at least. 2-1 against Brewster. Got 2 wins against Orleans. They're doing well.
Another 3-2 to Carnes. He slices it foul. It's been a good at-bat by the Gateman catcher. And they're facing a guy in Chmielewski on the mound, who, as Josh mentioned, hadn't started the game yet this summer. The 2.08 ERA in 8 2/3 innings out of the bullpen. 3-2 yet again. Loses him on a fastball way out of the zone. The Gatemen get their first base runner of the game in the form of a Hunter Carnes walk.
It's really impressive for Carnes to walk there. It's a 9-pitch at-bat. Braden Randall did a lot of that yesterday in just 2 at-bats. 23 pitches that he took between 2 ABs. How impressive is that? And he was out on both of them, but I'm sure that gave the Gatemen a lot more confidence knowing, hey, you're seeing a lot of pitches. You can read this guy pretty well. They scored early.
It's one of the best arms in the Cape. McHugh gave that one a ride, but it's way foul. Randall exited yesterday's game early with a migraine, not in the starting lineup here tonight, so Cruson elevated to that leadoff spot. McHugh hitting third tonight, 180 hitter, 3 homers, 5 RBIs for Chris. Base hit and a walk last night. With Carnes on at first, the 0-1 from the lefty. Fouled straight back, 0-2.
McHugh really hunting that breaking ball. Seeing 2 of them, swung at both.
Chmielewski has not started a game this summer or this past spring for the Tar Heels at UNC. 13 appearances, all out of the bullpen. Head of McHugh, 0-2. The lefty comes home. Breaking ball hit hard, but foul on the ground. 0.87 ERA, just 1 earned run for Chmielewski at UNC this past spring. The grad student, prior to that, pitched a handful of years at Princeton, missed the 2024 season due to injury, but made 24 starts there across his first 2 years with the Tigers, so does have starting experience collegiately. 0-2 pitch, high fly ball center field. Broussard can't locate it, still twisting and turning, and it lands behind him in center field. Carnes is off to the races. Mike Mobbs is going to wave him home. The play at the plate is not going to be in time. McHugh ends up on second on a double. The Gatemen will take it. They get on the board. It's 2-1.
It is a bright, sunny, shining evening here from Spillane Field. It's been out all day. It's been pretty hot, Cory. I know we've gone through a few waters ourselves, but, I mean, it can be tough to see in center field when you're trying to fight that sun. And you could see immediately Broussard had no idea where that was. First, he turned over his left shoulder and turned over into right center. Then his team's yelling at him, no, it's in left center, it's in left center. At that point, it was much too late. Now the Gatemen got one back.
And that tying run in scoring position for Caden McDonald. As you said, right from the get-go, Broussard had no idea where that ball was, and he wasn't particularly close to where he was playing either. Gatemen catch a break to make it 2-1, as McDonald's now ahead of the count, 2-0.
I mean, that easily should have just been a fly out. 2 outs, still runner on. Now you got a different story, but you have to capitalize off of it. Good thing McDonald's been one of the clutchest hitters on this team.
In hitters count here, 2-0. Lace down the left field line, foul. Last night's starting pitcher, Caden McDonald, 5 no-hit innings. The Gatemen took a no-hitter into the 8th inning.
That's pretty good.
Again, they are up 3-1 in that 8th inning. The no-hitter and the lead were erased on a 2-run base hit by Sosa, but 4 outs away from a combined no-no. 2-1 to McDonald, a big wave and a miss, 2-2.
Yeah, and let's go back over the 3 days before that start, the 3 games that is. Has a single against Falmouth on Sunday. On Saturday has a pinch hit 2-run home run to give the Gatemen the lead in the 8th. And then the day before that, 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs against Bourne. Cashed in an insurance run.
Hard hit up the middle, past the outstretched glove of Martian into center field. McHugh had backtracked initially, gets up to third 90 feet away. Back-to-back hits from the Gatemen, tying runs 90 feet away. As Caden McDonald continues to swing the bat.
For McDonald to be able to do what he does on both ends of the ball, I mean, it just wows me. There isn't much else to add to that. I mean, he's incredible. His batting average is up to .316, and he goes 5 no-hit innings against Brewster yesterday. It's incredible.
It's hard enough to do just one of those things really well.
He's doing both.
Yeah. I mean, the pinch hit 2-run shot against Hyannis over the weekend. I mean, not just 5 good innings last night, 5 no-hit innings last night.
6 strikeouts.
It's Colin Ritchie now. He popped a homer yesterday. The game was tied at 1. He untied it on a 2-run shot to right. His 3rd of the summer. He's up to 9 RBIs now. He's been finding that power stroke as of late.
Yeah, all 3 of those home runs have been in the last 5 games.
McHugh on at 3rd, the tying run. McDonald on at 1st. Pitch to Ritchie. Snap throw behind McHugh at 3rd. He dives back as it missed outside for a ball. 2-1 on Colin Ritchie. The lefty continues to work his way back up the lineup after an early season slump. Has seemed to, as we said, found that stroke, especially the power side of it lately. Lays off that breaking ball, misses outside, 3-1. With the righty bat, Colby Turner on deck.
And he's got a great eye, too. He's only hitting .196, but his on-base percentage is .317. Just tells you how many times he's still getting on first, even though he's not using his bat.
3-1 to him. Big swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Chmielewski on the outside corner. Full count. A lot of big swings from Ritchie. Has that powerful swing. Left the yard now 3 times this summer as the Gatemen look to tie this game up at 2. Back-to-back base hits. McDonald will dive back safely on the pickoff attempt.
Yeah, and if you're Ritchie, you want to protect, but you don't want to expand too much. That's kind of the big differentiator there. Anything that's really close to the plate, yeah, swing at, offer at. Don't go chasing.
He fists this one in the air, shallow center field. Marsh out from his shortstop position. He makes the catch. McHugh just faking the tag at 3rd. Not deep enough to score. So an unproductive out. Runners stay put, and there's 2 away.
Now batting the second baseman, number 14, Colby Turner from Michigan.
So now a chance for Colby Turner. Same spot, just 2 away now. 259, 3 homers, 13 RBIs. That run batted in total leads Wareham. Recorded the go-ahead RBI on a sac fly to plate Easton Breifogel in the 9th last night. First pitch from the lefty skips in there, and it clipped Turner. So the second baseman hit by a pitch. That'll load the bases now for Van Sheen.
And we've talked about hot bats. Colin Ritchie's been finding his power groove lately. Caden McDonald's been performing pretty well. During this winning streak, Van Sheen has brought his batting average up nearly 50 points. It's up to 222.
It's kind of been that steady grind, too, game to game to game. There hasn't been really one huge game, but game in, game out, he's recorded a hit or two. Goes the other way. Nice sliding stop there by Wolf. Will go to second. The throw there is just in time to beat Turner. So the Mariners get out of the inning on the fielder's choice. The Gatemen get a run back in the bottom of the first. The double by McHugh drives in Carnes. The Gatemen on the board. It's 2-1. We played an inning on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
A+ repairs smartphones, tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first time.
Cape Cod Central Railroad is proud to sponsor the Wareham Gatemen for the 2nd year in a row. Experience the scenic beauty of Cape Cod like never before. Journey through picturesque marshes, cranberry bogs, and dunes on our historic rail line. Whether you're savoring a 5-course gourmet dinner, enjoying a Sunday brunch with a live jazz band, or bringing the family on a narrated excursion, there's a ride for everyone. Departing from Hyannis and Buzzards Bay, visit capetrain.com to book your ride today.
The Gatemen struck back for 1 in the bottom of the first. Trailed by 1 now in the top of the second. Daniel Powell back to work after a rough first inning. Faces Conti, Coonan, Inouye, 7, 8, 9 in the Mariners order.
Yeah, that first inning wasn't great, and it was only 2 runs because of a great throw from Chris Ramirez at short. But Powell needs to have a big bounce-back inning here. He started it off pretty shaky, 2 on, nobody out, got the strikeout, but then Kyle Wolf, a little dribbler down the third baseline, just a bad throw from Powell, bad decision as a whole, scored the 2 runs. Definitely an avoidable situation for the Gatemen, but if you can put a donut up for the second for Harwich, that'd be pretty big for momentum moving forward.
1-0 on Conti, as they say he did not go around. And the Gatemen got lucky offensively, too. Broussard didn't see that McHugh double at all on the fly ball to center. That was kind of a routine out. It landed past him, and that allowed Carnes to come in to score all the way from first. So obviously Ramirez turning that double play helped to end the top of the first, but the Gatemen getting that 1 run back. Could have had more. Blasted in the air to center field. Cruson jogging back, twisting and turning, and backpedaling in front of the fence is just enough room for allowed out number 1.
That's probably the furthest we've seen a ball hit to dead center field. I mean, Cruson had maybe, a step or 2 before he got to that wall on the back pedal. I mean, that ball was laced. And if Conti goes anywhere other than dead center, that probably leaves.
Could hear the crack of that bat up here, too. Conti came in still looking for his first homer of the summer. Didn't miss that one by a whole lot. The right fielder, Coonan, now. Powell gets the first out of the second, and then a ground ball, foul ball here on his first pitch to Coonan. Coonan, 137, 3 homers and 9 RBIs for the right fielder. Out of Princeton, waits on the 0-1 pitch, high and outside, ball 1. Gatemen trying to prevent Harwich from winning their third straight against them. Fourth game of the summer between these two squads. Wareham took the first one 5-2 all the way back on June 19th. All three of the contests, first three contests, have been decided by 3 runs or less between these two squads. The last two have been decided by just 1, as it is 3-1 on Coonan.
These teams match up pretty well, which is funny considering they're so good at different things, or at least they have been this year.
Inouye on deck. Powell's 3-1 pitch. Sky high pop up. Drifting into foul territory. Van Sheen says he's got it, makes the catch. Just inside the third base bag for out number 2.
Now batting the second baseman, number 2, Shintaro.
It took a while, Cory. You know, we're nearly 3/4 of the way through the season, but the Gatemen finally, I think, found their identity as a team that capitalizes off of power, hard hitting, and then pitches well enough to escape with some wins. Harwich, on the other hand, has just been pitching, and hopes that the offense can kind of rally around.
And it's been interesting because as Inouye's behind in the count 0-1, it's been a summer of offense really across the Cape League, 0-1 to Inouye.
Until you have to play Harwich.
Yeah. And as we were talking about trends-wise past week or so, that Mariners ERA has gone up a lot.
Just keeps changing.
Now looking for out number 3, 0-2 on Inouye. Joss missed that outside corner. And talking to some of their broadcasters, I mean, there's been a lot of changeover with their pitching staff, so it's been a lot of new arms that have come in and not some of those reliable guys who pitched a lot of innings and were really successful earlier in the season.
Yeah, and whether it be early reporting times back to college, getting drafted to MLB, there's a lot of different things that go into it.
2-2, Inouye takes upstairs, full count. Top of the order, and Broussard waits on deck.
And we talked to Rocco DiPietro, Gateman first base coach, and, you know, when the Gatemen had to release Levi Clark,
as Inouye fouls it into the glove of Carnes for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down. Good bounce back inning for Powell in the top of the second.
We'll top off that note in the second half.
Why not? When the Gatemen are back in the box trying to tie this game up at 2. That's up next on Cape League TV.
The Insurance has been servicing Wareham and the surrounding areas since 1980. Call Legacy Insurance for all your insurance needs at 508-295-1315. Legacy Insurance, your hometown agency.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
When it comes to protecting your home, car, or business, trust the team that's been covering our community for generations. For personalized coverage and service that you can count on, the choice is easy. It's Morse, of course. Visit morseins.com today.
Back here at Spillane Field, bottom of the second, about to commence. 4th game of the summer between the Mariners and the Gatemen. As we've been talking about, Josh, there's been some really close contests across the first 3 matchups, and the Gatemen trying to avenge some of those close losses.
Yeah, we touched on it a little bit. The first one was kind of a commanding Gateman win. You know, it was only by 3 runs, but the most runs that Wareham has won by against the Mariners this season. And then the second 2, a walk-off loss on a wild pitch. Gavin Black just couldn't locate. Mariners come in to score, win that one 3-2. The second one up 5-3 in the 9th. 2 outs, you're 1 out away, bases loaded. You give up a 2-run single. That was Shintaro Inouye who ended up hitting that. Game goes tied, you lose in extras. It's a tough break, and it's a game that the Gatemen should have won, but now Wareham has won 5 straight, 6 of the last 7. Harwich has lost 4 of the last 5, so just 2 teams trending in opposite directions right now.
And it seems like that's been a theme with some of the teams that the Gatemen have played lately. They've been trending up while the others have been trending down. But again, a lot of close games against this Mariners team, and just Harwich has been the better team, especially late in those contests.
For a majority of the season, they have. They've been able to string together some wins.
1-2 to Breyfogle, up and in. Easton, then Chris Ramirez, Chase Cruson, 8-9-1 in the order. Breyfogle scored that go-ahead run in the top of the ninth on a sac fly by Colby Turner.
How great was that?
The 2-2 pitch comes up empty on that swing. A situation where it was a really shallow fly ball by Colby Turner into left field. A lot of guys you're probably not sending in that situation, but Easton talked about how he turned to Mike Mobbs, the third base coach and hitting coach for the Gatemen. He just asked him yes or no. Mobbs said, let's do it. And it certainly worked out. There was a play at the plate. Breyfogle beat it out. Ball got away from the catcher anyways, but that's how you use speed to your advantage, because, again, that was not by any stretch a fly ball into deeper, even mid-center left field, that is.
Well, it's just funny. The game that we were just talking about and have highlighted was the last contest between Wareham and Harwich this season. Bases loaded, 2 outs. You have a chance to get out of the inning, get the win. Inouye hits a 2 RBI single back up the middle. Okay, what happened against Brewster? Bases are loaded with 2 outs. Sosa at the dish, hits a 2 RBI single right back up the middle. And Wareham lost that one against Harwich, but they came back to win against Brewster, and it just goes to show, it's the same situation, 2 different games, but it's a new team, both on the field and in their own heads as well.
Yeah, one of these new guys, Chris Ramirez, how great has he been? We saw the double play from him in the top of the first. Just 7 at-bats, but he has 3 hits, comes in hitting .429. The speed's been there. He had that bunt to advance Breyfogle into that third base position where Colby Turner drove him in, top of the ninth. The 2-2 to Chris Ramirez, slapped foul.
Just the second successful sac bunt this season.
That's crazy.
Isn't that weird to think about?
The Gatemen have tried plenty of bunt attempts, too, some in sacrifice spots, others just to get on.
They haven't gone well.
A lot of pop-ups. It'll be another 2-2 to Ramirez. Goes the other way. It'll land foul. But the Gatemen are hoping that Ramirez can bring some of those skills to Wareham. Obviously, the speed will be nice to have, the range defensively, such an important defensive position. The bunts, obviously, but he's been hitting 3 for 7. Another 2-2. Breaking ball, high fly ball into right field. It sends Coonan back, drifting, and he can't make the catch. It's off of his glove. Ramirez dashing to second, pulls up there. Another outfielder perhaps losing track of the ball for the Mariners. The Gatemen will take it. Ramirez in scoring position.
Yeah, that time Coonan could see the ball, but just lost it. Just kind of underread and underestimated how far out that was drifting into right field. It's a tough break for him, but if you're the Gatemen, you'll take it. You got another guy in scoring position that represents the tying run in this game. Ramirez just continues to make an impact early on for Wareham. As soon as he saw that Coonan didn't catch it, he was flying into second.
He'd been trying to go the other way for the extent of that at-bat. Back to the top of the order in the lefty, Chase Cruson. Breaking ball from Chmielewski that just misses outside, 1-0.
And I mentioned it, at least I started to mention it in the last half inning. Rocco DiPietro said, well, you know what? Yeah, we lose Levi Clark. We have to bring in some guys that are new to this team. But so is every other team across Cape Cod. That's been the big thing, is that everybody's losing guys to the draft. Everybody's losing guys that have to report back early for their collegiate seasons. The rosters on opening day are nowhere near the rosters that are here on July 16th. And probably won't be the same rosters on August 3rd, last day of the regular season as well.
2-1 on Cruson. So that with that in mind, it's obviously how you adapt to those changes that are coming with the draft and with guys heading back to college. A lot of roster turnover the past few days for these teams. With that draft in mind, 2-1 to Cruson. Big cut and a miss out of breaking ball. And the Gatemen, obviously, they just lost Levi Clark a couple days ago, so still getting adjusted in that post kind of Levi era, but they've made it work without Ty Dally, who was such an important bat. Trying to tie the game right here. 2-2 to Cruson. Lays off that breaking ball. Count goes full with Carnes on deck.
He loves going to that slider. Chmielewski does, especially against lefties. Fooled Breyfogle with it. Cruson struck out to lead off the game. And it's a great pitch. A couple swings and misses already tonight.
Well, we go with that here. Checks the runner at second, comes home. Cruson the check swing, appeal to the field. He held up. Good at bat by Chase Cruson to work a full count walk. Brings up Hunter Carnes with 2 runners on.
Steve Englert not very happy about that in the Harwich dugout. He thinks he went around, but
Now batting the catcher, number 6,
he's going to
Carnes from Florida State.
have a quick talk with Chmielewski on the mound. Make sure that he's under control. I mean, we talk about it, Cory. Definitely some optimism that you could get to this guy. And the Gatemen have had some assistance from the Harwich outfield for misreading 2 fly balls. But either way, they'll go down as earned runs.
And we'll see what the leash will look like for Chmielewski again. No starts from at UNC as a grad student this spring. No starts so far this summer, this being his 4th game. But does have starting experience, 24 starts across his seasons at Princeton. When you think about it, this is his first start since the 2023 season because he didn't pitch in 24 with the Tigers.
That's a lot of time.
Didn't start it this past spring at UNC. The guy was a first-team All-Ivy selection in 2023 from Needham, Massachusetts. But, again, it's been a long time for him.
And it's a completely different mindset when you have to think about that. In, a relief capacity, you're thinking, okay, I just need to go out and throw 1 or 2 good innings. I can leave everything that I have on the field right here, right now. As a starter, you need to save something so you're not wearing yourself out after 1 or 2 innings. Whatever he's taken off, or lack thereof, really, Gatemen have taken advantage.
Now he faces Hunter Carnes with 2 runners on as he can't locate that breaking ball. Hunter walked and scored the Gatemen's first run back in the first on the double by McHugh. RBI situation for him here. He's driven in 7 this summer. Ramirez on at second. Cruson at first. Great speed on the bases for Wareham. Now 2-0 on Hunter Carnes. It is an error that got Ramirez to second. E9 on Coonan after he couldn't catch that fly ball. 2-0. Cruson, easy take. Fastball way high in and out of the glove of Conti. So now 1 error apiece for both sides as it's 3-0 on Hunter Carnes. Chris McHugh on deck.
The mound visit clearly did not work for Chmielewski. 3 straight balls. If you're Carnes here, I'm taking until 3-2. Just force him to throw something in the zone. You're a dangerous hitter. Use that to your advantage.
See what Chmielewski comes home with here. Went with the fastball, missed inside. The bases are loaded here in the last of the second for Chris McHugh.
Now here's a guy against Harwich that you want up in this spot. Had a home run against the Mariners. He's played well.
He gets the platoon advantage. He doubled in the Gatemen's first and only run to this point in the first as Broussard couldn't see it. Bases loaded for him here. Goes into center field. Broussard on the move. He tracks it down. Tagging from third is Ramirez. Here comes the throw. It's late. Ramirez slides in safely. A sac fly by Chris McHugh, and this game's tied at 2.
That does the job. We talked yesterday, Cory, about how many guys could score from third base on the shallow sac fly from Colby Turner, and Easton Breifogel, obviously one of them. Chris Ramirez was the first name out of our mouths as soon as Breifogel scored, and he showed it right there. I mean, just dashing speed into home plate. This game's back knotted at 2.
It's Caden McDonald who singled in the first, and that fly ball was certainly not hit all that deep. Hit pretty hard, but Broussard came in a long ways, couldn't settle under it and wind up and make a throw. Hard hit, deep to left field, way back it goes. Take a good look, you won't see it for long. Caden McDonald, a 3-run shot.
Absolutely cranked. We've talked about it a lot, Cory, and it's a lot to say that someone is the Shohei Ohtani of your team. I'm getting to the point where I can say that and not wince or think twice when I'm talking about Caden McDonald. He is an absolute monster. He's given the Gatemen the lead here in the second. What a hit.
Wow. Now it's Colin Ritchie. That one up and in, ducks out of the way. The sac fly by McHugh, it's 2-2, and on one swing, McDonald gives the Gatemen their first lead of the game. The hits keep on coming. It's 5-2 Wareham. Now 1-1 on Colin Ritchie. I mean, what more could you ask for from Caden McDonald?
Not a whole lot, I'll tell you that.
He threw 5 no-hit innings yesterday. He had the pinch hit go-ahead 2-run homer against Hyannis to put you in this great spot in your own division to get to this first place spot, and he's just given you the lead here in the second.
And a comfortable lead at that, at least as it stands right now. Obviously, you want to keep adding on and do more, but to be in the second inning at this point, great
1-2 to Ritchie. Yeah, 357, the official distance on that McDonald homer. And when he gets a hold of them, boy, do they go a long way.
Yeah.
And he hits him with plenty of velocity, too. So Maluski looking for that elusive third out. The 2-2 to Ritchie. Breaking ball, locks him up, called strike 3. Inning is over, but not before the Gatemen strike and then some. They tie it on the sac fly by McHugh. 3 more come in on the homer by Caden McDonald. Blink, you might have missed it, but it's 5-2 Wareham. We played 2 innings on Cape League TV.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
As the sponsor of tonight's game, PCT Federal Credit Union is proud to root for the home team. We're thrilled to offer great rates on auto loans, home equity lines of credit, and so much more. Visit us on Cranberry Highway in West Wareham.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of the lightweight planting soil for green roof installations, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention, rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your newly renovated Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Shameless Plug Electric, hitting home runs on every job. Wareham's top choice for electrical work. Call Shameless Plug Electric. Caden McDonald, yeah, he's pretty good at baseball. How about 5 no-hit innings last night, and then he turns around and hits a 3-run shot to give the Gatemen their first lead, up by 3, now in the top of the third.
Yeah, and he's 2 for 2 today. Single in the first, 3-run shot in the second. You mentioned how he pitched on the mound yesterday. I mean, he is good, Cory.
He keeps playing like that, he's going to have to wave at us some more. We're going to keep finding him. I mean, just, again, we talked about it. It's one thing to play this well on either the offensive side or on the mound, but he's doing both.
I mean, I don't know what goes into the selection process, but I'm not 100% sure how he doesn't get named an all-star for what he's done. Because he was performing well before the official announcement was made over the weekend. Kid has been good.
And you got to think the way he's produced this summer on both sides of the ball, it's something now as Powell deals on 1-1 to Broussard, shows bunt, pulls it back, takes a ball. That the Gators, they've expressed obviously their interest in having him play as a two-way guy, but this past spring really only appeared as a pitcher. But the way he's successfully done both probably gives the Gators some hope that he can carry that over this coming spring.
Yeah, and he was a pretty good pitcher. He was 4-0 in 20 innings.
Weak roller down the first base line. It ends up going foul.
And you said it. You know, he didn't hit these past couple of years at Florida. But in high school, he hit over 500 with an over 600 on-base percentage. The talent is there. And it's no surprise why he earned a spot to play here in the Cape League. If he keeps this up, he'll be hitting for Florida in no time.
And initially when we saw him as a two-way player up here, he appeared as kind of that pitcher DH. If he started as a DH, would then transition to reliever and hit both in the same game. Now recently, as Powell comes home on the 2-2 to Broussard, lays off that one outside. He's really either pitched in a game or hit in a game. Two separate options, not really all in the same game recently, at least.
Yeah, I think we've seen him do both once, maybe twice this season, and it has kind of just been on and off. He's been good at it, so you can't complain about that.
Broussard stays alive. Center fielder, the leadoff man, doubled to begin the game, scored the game's first run off of Powell in the first inning, who all of a sudden went from 2 runs down after his first inning of work to now he's up by 3 runs. Another 3-2 pitch. Broussard fists that one into foul territory. Shane along the fence watches it land out of play.
And just ran out of room. If you're Powell here, just keep executing good pitches. You've got to lead. The Gatemen have scored 5 runs in 2 innings. How many times have we said that, Cory? Just
starts to games.
That's been the key.
Powell's payoff once again, swing and a miss. The righty wins the battle on the mound. Broussard down swinging to begin the third.
And that's a good pitch there from Powell. Just blew it by him with the fastball. Got that first out.
As it brings up Tanner Marsh, walked and scored a run in the first. And it really seems like every time this summer, at least on this win streak that is, the Gatemen have kind of gotten punched. They've come back with a counterpunch twice as hard. Even look back last night as Marsh takes a fastball up. They were up 3-1. Brewster had mustered no hits through
7 2/3.
7 2/3. The game was comfortably in hand, and then on one swing, not only is the no-hitter gone, but the lead's gone. It's tied up at 3. The Whitecaps seem to have all the momentum as that one is blasted foul. But what do the Gatemen do? Respond immediately. They get the sac fly RBI after Breifogel doubled and was advanced to third on the bunt by Ramirez. And Schlager comes out, shuts down the Whitecaps in the 9th, and Wareham beats the best team record-wise coming into that game across the Cape 4-3. 2-1 now on Marsh.
And we've talked about it, Cory. I mean, it's definitely been during this win streak because at the very beginning of July, we talked about it. It was the same situation against Brewster, but the Gatemen ended up falling in extras. They couldn't rebound off of kind of getting that punch to the head.
There's a shot into the gap. Marsh will turn and head for 2. Cruson gets it in, but in standing is Tanner Marsh, allowed double with 1 out. Gives Harwich a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, and this is the part of the lineup that Powell is going to have to worry about. You know, it's the 3rd inning. Haven't seen him go more than 3 2/3, 4 innings so far this summer. So he probably won't make it through to see a 3rd time in the order, but it makes sense. I mean, that was a nice hit from Marsh right there.
Been on base twice tonight.
If he can get out of this, get through a scoreless 3rd, and then maybe pitch a little bit into the 4th if he has some success, that'd be a pretty solid outing from Daniel Powell despite how the first went.
In his second at-bat against Robbins, who struck out swinging in the first. Yeah, Powell's never really gone that deep into games, despite the fact that he started 5 of them now. Just 17 1/3 total innings in 6 total games.
And I'm sure that's probably why they were thinking about moving him out of the bullpen a little bit more. Maybe you'd have a bit more success there.
Already allowed 2 runs so far tonight, coming back in the first inning. That one in the dirt, skips past Carnes. Up to 3rd goes Tanner Marsh, dives in head first safely.
Just bounced one too far away from Carnes in the dirt. If that stays a little closer to him, he probably has a play. Tough beat.
Up by 3, the Gateman infield stays back with a runner 90 feet away, 1 out in the top of the 3rd. Robbins, the Texas commit, 1-1 pitch to him, a big hack and a miss. Robbins considered other schools while he was in the portal, including Tennessee and Texas A&M. A guy who's considered a top 50 pick in the 2026 draft when he's eligible. Behind in the count 1-2. Pitch from Powell. Just misses on that outside corner. Count even at 2-2.
How great is that, just to have your pick of the litter for Tennessee, Texas A&M.
That's a pretty good group of schools.
Just like, yeah. I didn't want to go to Tennessee. I wanted to go somewhere.
Hook'em Horns 2-2 pitch. High fly ball into center field. Cruson on his horse, drifting into the gap. He's back, he's looking, he's leaping. And that one leaves the yard. Aiden Robbins to just about dead center, a 2-run shot. And on one swing, the Mariners trail by just a run.
And maybe that's why he's going to Texas
Yeah.
right there, Corey, when you can do things like that.
Now batting the first baseman, number 34.
What a hit. That was just blasted into center field.
That ball just kept going back and back and back. And we were talking about it past couple days, especially when we were in center field doing the broadcast on Sunday. Pretty much every home run at Spillane Field has been to right or it's been to left. It's tough to go dead center, but Robbins went 4-0-4. And again, all of a sudden, that 3-run lead is cut down to 1.
There's a little activity going on in the bullpen, just some guys stretching out. I don't know how long they'll want to keep Powell in for. Just try and get him through the third, but
as Wolf cracks one into right, playable for Fogel, settles under it and makes the catch for out number 2.
and you can credit that to Robbins just as a really nice swing. But those first 2 runs were absolutely preventable. Just the error from Powell on the throw didn't give McHugh even a chance at it. If he holds that, yeah, you know what? The bases are loaded. Maybe 1 run comes in instead of 2, but definitely could be in a better position than they are now.
Sure. And Powell, a sinker ball pitcher. You said bases loaded, but 1 pitch, ground ball double play, gets out of the inning unscathed. Just a 1-run lead for the righty right now, as that one is into center field for D. Kennedy. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Singles in the first, now the third, and the inning continues for the Mariners.
But that's the thing. He's just kept leaving it up. Just every hit has been elevated in some way, shape, or form. Broussard had that double to lead it off. Robbins the home run here in the third. Marcia double. He's not keeping the ball on the ground. That's been the issue for him.
Brini popped into that double play, turned by Ramirez, as Kennedy was off and running on the hit and run. Ramirez threw behind him, doubled it up to help Powell get out of that first inning. And in the second at bat, Brini takes a breaking ball in for a strike. We'll see how much longer Powell can go if he can't get out of the inning. And out away right here. Wolford College outfielder Brini at the plate. The check-in over at first. Kennedy back.
I have a feeling that both of these teams' ERAs are going to inflate after this one.
After Wareham's had really taken a slide down, as you mentioned, over the past week, there's really been no starting staff or staff overall that's been better in terms of their run average. Wareham on the season's at 6, 4.35. But lately, especially given their recent games, there's been no team that's been better. Quick throw over by Powell. Kennedy back on the dive. Some of the other numbers, walks, the Gatemen are 9th, 119. Strikeouts are also 9th, 195. Runner takes off for second, chopped to the second baseman. Turner has to come in and charge. Quick throw to first on the money for out number 3. The Mariners strike back. The 2-run shot by Aiden Robbins makes this a 1-run game. We played 2.5 at Spillane Field, 5-4 Gatemen on Cape League TV.
Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP Baseball-E also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website www.rkm-law.com.
Chmielewski back to work on the mound. The lefty, perhaps even unexpectedly, has gotten some run support from his squad. The Mariners came into this game last across the Cape in runs scored. They've scored 4 of them, and that's made things interesting. Harwich down by just a run.
Mariners have done their best to keep this one close. Honestly, Cory, in the bottom of the second, I thought Wareham was just going to kind of start to run away with it like they have for a majority of their wins over this past week. Blow them out. I mean, 7 runs against Orleans in the first inning, 9 runs in 2 innings against Cotuit last Sunday. There have been multiple instances where this team can just get out and score and score and score and never look back. Thought that's what was going to happen today, but might have a high-scoring duel between these two teams.
Certainly more expected from the side of the Gatemen. Pitch to Colby Turner to begin the bottom of the third. It's in there for a called strike one. And the matchups between these two squads this summer haven't necessarily been that high scoring, 5-2, 3-2, and 6-5, but they have been close, that's for sure, as that one is lined into right field. Coonan had it played perfectly. Turner lines out, hard hit to begin the bottom of the third, one away. But obviously this game so far, we're just through 2.5, but it's followed suit. Close contest between these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, the highest scoring game between these two teams was 11 runs at 6-5. We're at 5-4 already here through 2.5 innings. Well on pace to break that.
Van Shane retired on the fielder's choice in the first. Takes one below the knees for ball 1. For the first place Gatemen, just over a week ago, Wareham sat last in the division at 7-13. 5 straight wins. They're 12-13 now.
Be nice to win that game and get back to 500. It just kind of feels like you're starting fresh at that point. Not fighting back from anything, not chasing your losses.
And hopefully YD can finish off Cotuit here tonight. 2-0 pitch. Chopped back up the middle to the backhand in a way. Long throw to first. Nice is on the money in time.
It's a really nice play from Inouye, ranging over to his right, fading away from first base, long toss, and he makes it. It's a good throw. And you mentioned Cotuit. I mean, that's 7-2 in the 7th inning, YD with the lead. Brewster's now up 8-3 on Falmouth. You know, we'll look around the Cape later, but those are 2 games. Those are the other top 2 teams in the West outside of Wareham chasing the Gatemen. So win or lose this game, you should still have some protection record-wise in the West.
And if these scores hold up, if the Gatemen can come away with win number 6 in a row, YD fends off Cotuit as Breyfogle takes one in the dirt for ball 2.
It's even more breathing room.
Yeah, chance for Wareham tomorrow to, again, more and more breathing room if they can top the Kettleers at Cotuit. But the Kettleers have been hot, just like Wareham. Breyfogle bounces it foul. Easton hitting 8th, the 261 hitter. He had that huge double the top of the 9th. The response after the Whitecaps tied it at 3 in the bottom of the 8th yesterday to get into scoring position. Got over to third on the bunt, and his speed, as we talked about, made things happen on that sac fly. 2-1 pitch to him. And he didn't miss a home run by a whole lot. Went the other way, left center field. Hit it off the wall at Stony Brook Field. And Breyfogle will be participating in the Home Run Derby this coming weekend as part of the All-Star Weekend festivities. Bounce this one down the first baseline, off of the glove of Wolf. Can he recover in time? Yes, he can. Chmielewski covering. Wolf flipped it to him. A bang-bang play at first does not go the Gatemen's way. Breifogel retired on the ground ball as Wareham goes 3 up, 3 down to end the third. Same score as we move ahead to the fourth. 5-4 Wareham over Harwich.
Law. Live, life, law. Covering all residential and commercial real estate matters. You live life to the fullest and let us Sync Law. That's synklaw.com. Sync with an I, not a Y. Be selfish. We represent only you.
Sports Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen Field. Go Gatemen.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
We teased a couple of Cape League scores earlier in the bottom half of the third. As we move ahead to the top of the fourth, let's get a look at all of them across the league. Obviously, that Whitey Katuitt one's going to stand out for all of the Wareham faithful. Brewster up big over Falmouth as well. Bourne and Hyannis, a divisional matchup. That one's tight, 2-1 through 3 in the bottom of the third. Orleans and Chatham, that's 2-0 Firebirds. They've been hot, as we've talked about. In Wareham, just a couple days ago, not too long, we're at the bottom of those standings. Now midway overall, but first place in the West.
Yeah, and if you can just hold serve at this point in the night, keep this lead. Brewster's now up 10-3. I mean, that one was just 5-3, doubled the lead, more than that. Doubled their run total. All these scores hold. All of those teams that are chasing you are going to end up losing. And if you can come away with a win, these are the games that really matter. The more room you can kind of gain in your own division, the better off you're going to be. This team is just really hitting its stride at the right time. Harwich trying to snap that and kind of get back on the right side of the win column today. If you're Wareham, you just got to keep riding it. See where it takes you.
And Daniel Powell exits. His night is done after 3 innings. Tommy Skelding enters. We saw Tommy during our Sundays in Center broadcast pitched a scoreless inning out of the bullpen against Falmouth. 10.80 ERA, and now 3 games for Tommy.
Which doesn't tell the whole story.
Yeah, that one bad inning against Bourne. Now 2 weeks ago. 3 1/3 innings for him, 4 earned runs. Obviously, tonight's game right now, much different scenario. Wareham was blowing out the Commodores on Sunday. This is just a 1-run game. Pitch here to Conti, misses outside. It's 2-0 for the righty out of Kentucky.
And he threw well against Falmouth, so can kind of credit him getting into a higher leverage spot because he's performed well in his low leverage appearances.
2-1, big hack and a miss, 2-1.
And you're right, at that point the game was pretty far out of reach against Falmouth. You knew you were going to take that one. Bring Skelding in, he pitches well.
Offers at 2-1. Taking inside is Conti, who flew out to center in the second off of Powell. 3-1 the count on the catcher. Coonan on deck.
You just got to find the zone.
3-1 from Skelding. Sails high. 4-pitch walk to begin the 4th inning.
Now batting the right fielder, number 5, Jake Coonan from Princeton.
Brings up Coonan. Popped to Shane at third his last time up. The Gatemen bullpen was pretty solid last night. Obviously, couldn't hold on to that first lead when it was 3-1, but they carried that no-hitter from the 5th inning into the 8th inning. As that is hard hit on the line, knocking it down is Ramirez, trying to recover. Throw to second is wild. No advance from Conti. Everyone is safe. Ramirez got a piece of that ball initially. Couldn't make the play, though. Everyone's safe.
And it just snuck right under his glove. He made a nice dive at it. It was a really good effort. He just missed it. That finds his glove. I mean, that's an easy turn 2 right there. You erased the leadoff walk, but now you have 2 on and nobody out. It's a tough beat for him.
And we've talked about his range, and obviously it's unfortunate he couldn't make the play, but off the bat, that looked for sure like it was going to get up the middle into center field without any kind of chance for a play by Ramirez. So now it's Inouye. No one out as Spillane looks. Conti back to second.
Well, that was the thing, too. Conti stopped running because he didn't know if Ramirez caught that out of the air. He was like, wait, do I need to retreat back to first?
Corner infielders are in, guarding against a potential bunt from Inouye. Doesn't show and comes up empty on that hack, as Josh had talked about earlier. Inouye, obviously a name that rings familiar painfully for the Gatemen fans. Had that pinch hit, game-tying 2-run, 2 RBI single, that is, last time these two teams played at Spillane Field in the 9th. He struck out swinging back in the 2nd. Skelding's 0-1 pitch to him is in the dirt, smothered by Carnes, stays in front of him, and no advance from the runners.
And the Gatemen were just a strike away multiple times in that 9th inning from getting out of it. A couple guys drew some walks, made life more difficult on the mound.
And Inouye on the summer, those 2 RBIs, half of his total. He's 4 total. 1-1 to him. Hard hit, smothered by McHugh off of his glove. Caroms to Skelding, flips to first. In time. Unconventional, but the Gatemen getting out. Both runners advance into scoring position, but could have been a lot worse.
That's what we call a 3-1-3 put out, Cory. Score that in your books for everyone at home.
Held that in the center fielder, number 3, Trey Broussard from Houston.
McHugh is in there guarding against the bunt, so he had to react split second.
Yeah, and just great IQ from Skelding to move off of the mound as soon as he noticed that. As a pitcher, you know that on any ground ball, you're going to have to try and cover first base. Especially in that situation, did a nice job to field it and then toss it back to McHugh, who wasn't too far away from the bag.
High chopper back up the middle. Run will come into scores. It gets through. Here comes the second run. Conti in, Coonan follows. And on a 2 RBI base hit by Trey Broussard, the Mariners are back in front.
Just going back and forth. Back and forth we go here in the 4th.
The Gatemen infield was not in up the middle. Got through anyways.
I mean, I don't know if they get to that even if they are in. That was just such a high chopper. It probably would have landed over their heads.
Yeah,
but the sentiment is true.
The only player who was in was Shane at third, but a moot point as it was hit up the middle. Broussard dives back safely. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Single, double, 2 RBIs. I mean, this game has just kind of been off a lot of trends that we've talked about numbers-wise coming into this one. Another throw over to first. Once again, Broussard dives back safely.
And that's baseball,
yep.
Right, Cory? I mean, just when you think that you have the edge and you think you know what's going to happen, it's when something comes out of left field to throw you off. That's what tonight's been.
Tanner Marsh, a walk and a double. There goes Broussard, called strike, throw to second. Diving in there safely is Trey Broussard. A stolen base for the center fielder, now in scoring position.
That's his 10th of the year. He's second on the team, 5 behind Bristol Carter. Certainly has the wheels to get there, and he did. Close play from Carnes and Turner. They did a nice job to at least give Turner a chance, but Broussard got his hand in there.
So now an RBI chance for Tanner Marsh. He scored 2 runs tonight. Out of the second spot in the order, the shortstop. Skelding's pitch in the dirt, blocked by Carnes. But the runs for the Gatemen have continued, so that trend's on point. But Harwich obviously maybe not pitching as well lately. They've given up 5 runs, but again, coming into this game, they still had the best ERA across the Cape, had scored the fewest runs across the league. They've plated 6 against the Wareham staff that has been, over the past 7 days, the best in the league. But as Josh said, that's baseball. Now it's a 1-1 from Skelding. Inside. Rushes Marsh back, and it's 2-1. Marsh out of Liberty, just finished his freshman season, hit .294, 2 homers. Hitting .295 coming into this one. 2-1 pitch, outside and low, 3-1. Aiden Robbins, who popped that 2-run homer back in the third, waits on deck. Skelding's first inning of work out of the bullpen has not gone according to plan. A walk, a single, ground out, and then a single. In danger of walking Marsh here. With Broussard on at second, the 3-1 finds the outside corner for a called strike 2.
Good pitch.
As we talked about, how would Skelding respond now in a much more pressure-packed inning than what he threw against Falmouth, but his other innings, especially the one against Bourne, that was a close game, so nothing new for the righty. Payoff pitch, sails high. Marsh works the walk, his second free pass of the contest, and there's 2 runners on for Robbins.
Just not a whole lot is going right defensively for the Gatemen today. Got the early error. That was another thing to kind of key in on, Cory. 7 errors about a week and a half ago against Falmouth now, and it seemed like the Gatemen had put that contest behind them. And for the most part, they have. Just tough throwing decision from Powell. Skelding has followed it up. Just hasn't been able to locate the zone very effectively, and when he has, just Harwich putting the ball into some good spots. It's definitely what provokes this mound visit from Eric Luxus to talk things over.
Skelding will stay in the game. There is action in the Gatemen bullpen. Some guys getting loose. Skelding had just entered out of the pen, though. He's gotten just an out. This will be the 6th batter he's faced this inning, and it's Aiden Robbins who, again, popped the 2-run homer in the third to make it a 1-run game. It's now a 1-run Harwich lead.
Yeah, and you got to find a way to turn 2 here. Just put something on the ground. Trust your defense to make the play. Get out of the inning, and you're still only down by 1. Nowhere near the end of the world.
Yeah, with this Gateman offense, too. 1-run deficit, practically nothing. First pitch of the at-bat to Robbins. Can't clip the inside corner, and it's 1-0 to the dangerous righty.
But it's going to be tough to get out of the inning if you can't locate the zone. You don't need to, paint a picture every at-bat. Just establish that you have your command down, and then you can start to move a little bit away.
Skelding finding the zone right there, 1-1 on Robbins. Runners on first and second, 1 away. Broussard at second, Marsh at first. Skelding looks to second, comes home, and gets ahead of Robbins, 1-2. Robbins, a guy whose batting average up over 400 this past spring, ranked 6th across the country. .279 hitter entering this contest. Skelding looking for out number 2. The 1-2 pitch. Runners take off. A weak roller to shortstop. In comes Ramirez. Only plays to first. He makes it cleanly. The Gatemen get an out. Both runners advance, but there's 2 away.
Just a really, really smart hit and run for Harwich there. You avoid the double play. You have got both guys in scoring position for your cleanup man, Wolf.
Now batting the first baseman, number 34, Kyle Wolf.
If you're Skelding, you have to strap in and get this last out, leave those 2 guys stranded on base.
Kyle Wolf reached on the single, and then the error by Powell in the first flew out to right his last at-bat. Big 6'1", 210-pound righty out of Boston College. .250 hitter for the Eagles this past spring. Good pitch by Skelding on the outside corner to get ahead. Just finishing up his junior year was Kyle Wolf. .234 hitter, a homer, 8 RBIs for Harwich this spring. Skelding trying to limit the damage. 0-1 pitch to the shortstop Ramirez. He gloves it, fires over to first in time for out number 3. The Gatemen limit the damage in the fourth, but the Mariners back out in front. The 2 RBI single by Trey Broussard. Harwich retakes the lead 6-5 through 3.5.
Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen Field. Go Gatemen!
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player. You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Back and forth game between the Mariners and the Gatemen. Both of these sides exchanging runs and lead changes. The most recent run, 2 runs for the Mariners in the top of the fourth, so the Gatemen come back to the dish in the bottom half of the inning. Down by a run, still facing Chmielewski on the mound.
Yeah, and now you get your third time through the order. There'll be Ramirez, Cruz, and Carnes. It's a great chance to kind of turn things over to them. You're Ramirez, you had the double over into right field. Well, it went down as an error, but reached second base.
And he put it in play. Made a couple of nice plays at shortstop to end the top half of the inning. It's just been a clean defender for the Gatemen, and hey, he's been swinging the bat well, too.
You'd like to get him on base. Then maybe he can move over to second, get into scoring position, tying run.
No 1 pitch to him inside. And how about Chmielewski, too? I mean, we didn't know how long he'd be able to throw, given that he hasn't started the game in about a year and a half, really.
Not to mention 5 runs in 2 innings.
Yeah, so despite that, he's held strong on the mound, and his offense has backed him up. 1-1. Missed the top of the zone, 2-1.
I'd imagine he's probably got a short leash. You'd have to think that Harwich had him on a pretty short leash in the second inning after he gave up the 3-run shot to McDonald. Then goes out, pitches a scoreless third, and then it's like, okay, well, maybe he's fine. I'd have to imagine that at either, maybe the first or second sign of trouble in the fourth, probably give him the yank.
Hey, not just human spectators in attendance tonight, but those with 4 legs, too.
Man's best friend.
2-2 pitch, Ramirez. High chopper back up the middle. Marsh charges. He's got to hurry. Off-balance throw to first is on the money. Nabs the speedy Ramirez, who's set down to begin the last of the fourth. You're more of a cat person, though, aren't you, Josh?
I do have 2 cats. I do. But dogs are great. I love dogs. That sounds so disingenuous when I just said that. Yeah, I have 2 cats, but dogs are great, too. No, dogs are amazing.
Our one producer, Chuck Luarasi, is a cat person. The other, Abby Smith, I believe, is a dog person. So it's 2-2. So we have to find out what Rayna Maggelet is so we can break the tie.
Can we get her up here?
1-0 on Chase Cruson, a strikeout and a walk for the center fielder. Well, if Nate Wallen hopped on the broadcast a little while later, I got to think he's a dog person because he's got 2 Labrador Retrievers. 1-0 pitch. Cruson taking at the knees, 1-1.
That's not you got to think. That's Now you're just starting to cheat the system here. Don't do that to me.
Nate will be on 6th inning as things stand now. Cruson 1-1, showing bunt, pulling back, taking another pitch at the knees for a called strike. Despite the 5 runs, Chmielewski has retired the last 5 Gatemen hitters since the McDonald 3-run homer. 1-2 pitch, Cruson. A weak number to second. Plenty of time for Inouye. Fields cleanly on to first. Throw out number 2.
Chmielewski's really pitched well since that home run. Kept Wareham at bay. Offense has backed them up at 6-5.
And obviously the question has been for Wareham, are they going to be able to sustain this trend of all-around play? Hitting, pitching, defense, but again, that's been the theme of this win streak and why they've won 5 in a row. Some games it's the offense, some it's the pitching, but really overall, they're getting timely and clutch contributions from everyone in both sides of the ball.
And you know that the guys are going to get up for another 2 or 3 times for the remainder of this game. I mean, this is the 3rd time through the order in just the 4th inning.
1-1 on Carnes. And it would have been really heartbreaking to lose that game. You got to think yesterday to Brewster. The way the Whitecaps came back to tie it after they really had nothing going offensively, rolled foul.
And it was a pretty dominating game up until that 8th inning. You know, no hits at that point. Got the 2 outs in the 7th, and then that first hit ties the game. But they rallied. Credit to them. Gatemen, that is, in the 9th.
Immediately responded. Schlager, who closed it out, said immediately after Breifogel scored that run, he said immediately after he knew his team was going to win. 1-2 to Carnes. He stays alive.
Talk about confidence, too. I mean, that's way to know that, you know, you have that belief in yourself that you can, you know, think that way against teams of this caliber, especially Brewster. Go out and shut the door. No problem.
Yeah, the top team across the Cape entering yesterday, but after the loss, YD replaced them atop of the East. 1-2 to Carnes. Again, he spoils it. Kind of had that feel of that Oakland Athletics game years ago when they were trying to set that win streak record at the time. The Royals came all the way back to tie it, but then Hatterberg won it on the walk-off homer. But it's the kind of response Wareham needed after they lost the lead. 1-2 pitch, hit on a line, but right at Kennedy at third.
It's a great Moneyball pull out of you, by the way.
We try. Hard hit by Carnes, hit it on the screws, just in the wrong spot. Nothing doing for the Gatemen. Second straight 3-up, 3-down inning. We played 4 here at Spillane Field. Gatemen find themselves down by a run. We head to the 5th on Cape League TV.
Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Speaking of more furry friends, yeah, the dog people are certainly enjoying this game. There's another one. We're 2-0 in that department in terms of pets we've seen at Spillane Field tonight.
Well, you're not going to have your cat out at a baseball
That's because a
game.
cat doesn't want to do anything because they're so lazy.
Yeah, and so am I, so it works out perfectly.
I guess you have a point there if that's your thing.
Do you not just like to lay around sometimes on a rainy day? Like,
I mean, dogs will lay around on a rainy day. They can do it both ways. That's the thing. They're versatile.
That's a good point.
Hudson Rowan takes over on the mound. Skelding just went the one inning, the 2 earned runs. Hudson Rowan has been really great, especially when you think back to his last appearance out of the bullpen. 3 shutout innings against Hyannis. Allowed just 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. really nice bounce-back performance from him.
Yeah, he's been really solid throughout a majority of this season for the Gatemen. And now you bring him in a big spot. You want to keep the deficit to just 1. Bring in Rowan. His ERA elevated, as it is right now, 4.02, but that's just because of 2 pretty bad outings. Other than that, he's been stellar.
Yeah, that one rough outing against Katuitt. The Gatemen won, but Rowan allowed the grand slam. Faces D. Kennedy, who is 2 for 2. Hard hit. Gobbled up on the backhand. Ramirez's throw wide of the bag. McHugh applies the tag. Nice play on both ends. The shortstop and first baseman combined for out number 1.
Heads up from McHugh there. Knew that throw was going to drift him off. Thankfully, Kennedy's speed just kind of ran right into him. And that's kind of the spot that you want to miss if you're not going to have an accurate toss over to first, is if you can miss back down that line. Give your first baseman a chance to just kind of run into the guy instead of throwing it wide closer into the outfield. Works out well.
And Ramirez has had some nice plays tonight. Big swing and a miss from Nico Brini, who's 0 for 2. That lockdown defense. Ramirez and Drew Rogers, who isn't getting the start tonight behind the plate, but the newer additions offensively for Wareham. Lefty on lefty, and a base hit for Nico Brini into right field. It eats up Breifogel. Brini makes the turn. The throw to second's not going to be in time.
Just a mistake pitch from Rowan. Left a breaking ball up. Brini turned on it, and then Breifogel just can't field it cleanly. Should have been a single, ends up being a double. Now he's on second with 1 out.
And obviously, we talked about it, still a close game, and given how Wareham has been swinging things offensively, a chance for them to respond, but that becomes more difficult if the lead can extend any more past 1. Rowan's pitch now to Conti, who walked and scored in the 4th, is low and outside. A single and an error on that base hit by Brini. That one gets past Carnes. Easy advance, 90 feet away, as the Mariners look to plate an insurance run.
That's not going to help you either.
And obviously, Rowan, the thing for him that's so key is location. He got Kennedy to ground out to begin the inning. Going behind Conti, another fastball that's way high. It's 3-0 as the infield comes in for Wareham. We've seen Brini's speed already. Obviously, it was an error by Breifogel, but had to showcase the wheels just to get to second safely on that play. Looks like Rowan adjusting his belt on the mound. Some equipment issues on the mound right now for Hudson Rowan.
It's not usually the equipment issue we've been prone to seeing this year. Usually it's the catcher and that earpiece.
Rowan gets squared away.
Maybe it was just one loop too tight.
Yep. Trying to adjust here. 3 straight balls to begin the at-bat to Conti. An RBI situation for the catcher. His team already up by a run. 3-0 pitch. Breaking ball. Misses low. 4-pitch walk to Conti. Does set up the double play possibility with runners on the corners.
Gives you a little optimism that you can turn 2 and get out of this, but still have to execute on the mound. Got the bottom of the order, though. Coonan did have that hit back in the 4th.
Rowan now already the 3rd Gatemen pitcher used so far tonight. 2nd out of the bullpen as Carnes deals out the signs. McHugh will hold on Conti at first. Cheyenne even with that 3rd base bag. Middle infielders at double play depth. Lefty against righty, and Coonan takes low for ball one. Hudson Rowan trying to find the zone right now. Guy at third, Brini, singled, advanced to second on a Breyfogle error, got to third on a wild pitch. Good speed at third for the Mariners. The 1-0 pitch. Again, Rowan can't locate 2-0. Carnes out to the mound to talk things over with the southpaw. The 2 innings from the respective Wareham relievers, Skelding and then Rowan, have not been ideal. No runs have come in against Rowan, but Harwich threatening for more. Coonan, a 137 hitter, 3 homers, 9 RBIs, but did have that single in the 4th. 1 for 2 tonight. The 2-0 to him. Way outside, 3-0, Inouye on deck.
Now you just don't have the control. You have a base to play with, but you don't want to load the bases with less than 2 outs.
Pretty soon you're going to start putting too much pressure on your bullpen. 3-0 pitch, doesn't threaten the zone. Back-to-back 4-pitch walks. The bases are loaded for Shintaro Inouye. Inouye's 0 for 2 tonight. Strikeout and a ground out. Prime opportunity for him here. His squad up by a run, hoping for more. Any insurance, a good thing against this Gatemen team. Brini on at third. 90 feet away, Rowan regains control of the zone with a breaking ball in the outside corner.
A nice pitch. Framed it well behind the plate from Carnes. Now you're ahead in the count. Still have to execute.
Conti on at second. Coonan at first. As I said, Brini on at third. Corner infielders are in for the Gatemen. Shane at third, McHugh at first. Bases loaded, 1 away. Rowan's pitch, Inouye. Went around on the swing, 1-2.
You can get an unproductive out here. That'd be big. Go back upstairs with a fastball. I'm Rowan.
The lefty deals on 1-2. Hit on the ground. Turner fields. Throws to second for 1. Back to first. Not in time as a run comes in to score.
Just kind of a slow roller to Turner there. He wasn't going to have much of a choice. Just kind of had to flip it over to second and attempt to turn 2. He wouldn't have been able to go home. That would have been too long of a throw with not enough time.
And with Inouye's speed, no chance. Bristol Carter into the game. The Mariners get that platoon advantage. Still an interesting decision because Trey Broussard, who was the leadoff man for Harwich, was 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs, but the lefty out, the righty in, and it's 1-1 on him. Carter out of Auburn, 176 hitter, 2 homers, 7 RBIs this summer. Comes up empty on that swing. Rowan hoping to get out of the inning. He had some belt issues a couple pitches ago.
Now the belt is just completely off.
Jeff Kinney willingly takes it. 1-2 pitch. Carter stays alive.
Cory, before the game, I started fanboying a little.
Over
third baseman Jeff Kinney.
Oh, yeah.
Now, for those who are familiar, if that name sounds familiar, Jeff Kinney wrote the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series.
Weak roller to third. Shane charging. Shane throwing to first in time for out number 3.
I was really curious if he freelanced as a Cape Cod umpire. Turns out he doesn't, but, you know, I got my hopes up.
We certainly got our hopes up. The Gatemen avoid another big inning, but not before the Mariners tack on another run. They score 1 in the top of the 5th, up by 2 now. We move ahead to the bottom half of the 5th. Gatemen trying to break the bats out again on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
A+ repairs smartphones, tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first time.
Cape Cod Central Railroad is proud to sponsor the Wareham Gatemen for the second year in a row. Experience the scenic beauty of Cape Cod like never before. Journey through picturesque marshes, cranberry bogs, and dunes on our historic rail line. Whether you're savoring a 5-course gourmet dinner, enjoying a Sunday brunch with a live jazz band, or bringing the family on a narrated excursion, there's a ride for everyone. Departing from Hyannis and Buzzards Bay, visit capetrain.com to book your ride today.
Bottom half of the fifth coming up next. Before we get back to the action between the Mariners and the Gatemen, we'll send it over to our sideline reporter, Rayna Maggelet. Rayna, take it away.
Game field for their rosters. 6 of those names are going to represent Wareham. Randall and Colby Turner. Red Wilson Field at 6 p.m.
Thank you, Rayna. Talking about some of the Gatemen All-Stars who will be in action Saturday at Red Wilson Field, home of the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. Several names for Wareham, including Colby Turner, one of the All-Star starters.
Tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first
Colby will bat here in this inning if McHugh, McDonald, or Ritchie can get on. Wareham down by 2 runs back here on Cape League TV with Josh Richardson. I'm Cory Miller. Tanner Duke takes over on the mound. The righty replaces Tom Chmielewski, who, listen, all things considered, gave his team some depth. The 4 innings, 5 earned runs, but departed with the lead intact. McHugh the first to greet Tanner Duke on the mound, righty on righty, and 1-0 on McHugh.
Tanner Duke, just his second appearance of the season for Harwich this summer. First, he went an inning through 17 pitches. He struck out the side.
3, 4, 5 in the order for the Gatemen. 1-0 to McHugh, way outside. Gatemen at one point led this game by 3 runs after the 3-run homer by Caden McDonald, but 2 runs by Harwich in the third, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. They're now up by 2. Trying to get back on the winning side are the Mariners. It's 3-0. The pitch to McDonald. Taking all the way at the knees. It's a called strike. McHugh trying to get on base. It would bring up the tying running Caden McDonald on deck. 3-1. Hard hit. Just foul down the left field line.
Just got to stay back on it a little bit more. Got his barrel on it, just too far out in front. But yeah, if he can get on for this part of the lineup, McDonald's already got a home run.
Been a productive night for McHugh. Now the full count pitch. Goes the other way. A weak fister. Inouye's got a long way to go. Gathers and throws. Not in time. Not the hardest hit single of Chris McHugh's career, but the Gatemen will take it.
Yeah, I mean, can't complain about it either way. And that's the thing, too, about McHugh is he knew that was going to be a tough play for Inoue. And, I mean, he was sprinting like a banshee down that line. He was hustling because he knew that Inoue was going to have to move over, range over to his left, make the throw. It was a lot for him to do and do it well, and he did. Just the speed of McHugh got him there in time.
So now it's Caden McDonald. He has a single and a homer. That homer, that 3-run shot, his last at bat in the second. Homer number 3 of the summer. Up to 12 RBIs now, one off the team lead of 13 by Colby Turner. McDonald represents the tying run here in the bottom of the 5th, facing Duke, now 1-1. McHugh's had a nice game, setting that 3 spot in the order. Gotten some help on that double by Broussard in center, but a sac fly to a double, now a single. On it first for McDonald, waiting on the 1-1. Breaking ball, skips past Conti, up to second. Goes Chris McHugh. Speaking of Trey Broussard, Crystal Carter pinch hit for him in the top half of the inning. Carter remains in the game as the Mariners center fielder. It's a hitter's count for Caden McDonald. 2 balls, 1 strike with a runner in scoring position.
It's weird to think that Broussard's night is done after how he was hitting, but Gatemen won't complain as of now.
Shifted infield against McDonald. In a way, shaded up the middle. The first baseman, Wolf, playing well off the line. 3-1 now, and Conti and Duke will talk things over.
Guarding against the pull side, just a quick visit there from Conti to tell him to settle down. Wouldn't be surprised if they just don't want to even pitch to McDonald at this point. Behind
Duke,
the count.
Yeah, and Duke's second inning of action this summer.
But then you got Colin Ritchie on deck.
Yeah. 3 strikeouts in his first outing. Big swing and a miss from McDonald. Count goes full. Gatemen down by 2 runs, bottom of the 5th. McHugh waiting on its second. Payoff from Duke. That one misses low and outside. Good job by McDonald to work the full count walk. Gatemen get their first 2 hitters on to begin the last of the 5th.
And that's a gutsy take from McDonald. That was right near the corner. Thought it was a ball. Ends up getting rewarded for his eye. 2 on, nobody out for Colin Ritchie.
Ritchie gave the Gatemen the lead yesterday, the 2-run homer.
He's in a position to do it again today.
Yep. Wareham was tied 1-1. Made it 3-1. His team trails by 2 here. First pitch he sees from Duke. Goes the other way, looping down the left field line, but foul. Ritchie's 0 for 2 tonight. A pop out and a strikeout. His line so far. Colby Turner on deck. Approaching the 8 o'clock hour. Sun setting. Cooled off a little bit here at Spillane Field. Tanner Duke's 0-1 pitch to Ritchie. In the dirt, 1-1.
And that's the thing with Ritchie. You know, he's obviously not a contact guy, where his batting average was, you know, entering today below 200 at 196. He's 0 for 2. But if he gets his bat on a ball and scores it up, it's going a long way.
1-2. As that one's at the knees. Yeah, his 3 home runs this summer, he hasn't missed any of them. 1 has come at Spillane Field. Just some no-doubters from the big lefty. 2 runners on for him, no away. 1-2. In the dirt, blocked by Conti, kept it in front of him, no advance. And Ritchie's going to be one of those big bats, middle part of the order. We talked about why it's important because a lot of the Gatemen power, listen, they lead the league in home runs, but it's righty power, so Ritchie offers a different look. Again, without Levi Clark now, someone or multiple people have to step up, and Ritchie, the way he's played, elevated to 5th in the order. Breaking ball, just slips outside, doesn't catch the outer part of the plate. Good at-bat right here. Count goes full.
It's a great at-bat from Ritchie here. Now he's a pitch away from getting a bases-loaded spot. Just got to protect the zone.
Full count pitch. Fastball outside. Ritchie works the walk. Bases are loaded for Colby Turner.
It really seems like this is probably going to be the best chance the Gatemen have for the rest of the day to try and tie or take the lead. You know, obviously, you'll have options later on in contests, but when you have the bases loaded and nobody out, none more opportune than what Colby Turner is going to have on his hands here.
Mound visit for Steve Englert and the Mariners. The Gatemen have fought back. That's been a theme lately. They get punched, they come right back. They trailed 2-0 after the top of the first, got one back in the bottom half of the inning, then 4 in the second to take the lead, but Harwich is struck back to go back up by 2. Colby Turner is 0 for 1 tonight. Hard line out to right field. His last at bat was hit by a pitch in the first. The team's RBI leader at 13. 3 men on base for him right here with no one out. The first baseman, Wolf, steps onto the infield grass. Righty on righty matchup. A single and 2 walks. Duke's pitch to Turner. Taking on the outside corner, called strike. The Gatemen trying to rally for more against the Cape League's best pitching staff, numbers-wise, coming into this game. I've already scored 5, but find themselves down by 2. 0-1 from Tanner Duke. Goes to the inside corner this time, but can't get the call with the fastball, 1-1.
And he really wants it. He's trying to paint those corners inside out. Just isn't finding the zone, or at least isn't getting it close enough for Conti to give it a good frame.
McHugh on at third, McDonald at second, Ritchie at first. It's a 1-1 from Duke. Big hack and a miss. Turn away off of that one. Count goes to 1-2. The guy who had a 2-homer, 7 RBI game against Katuitt, named an all-star starter, had the go-ahead sac fly to give the Gatemen the lead, eventually the win last night. Bases loaded, no one out. 1-2 to Turner. Stays alive with the chopper.
That's the thing. You know, everybody, when they have the bases loaded, of course you want to come to the plate and hit a grand slam. Of course you do. But at the same time, you have a runner 90 feet away with less than 2 outs. Even if Turner can just put something into the outfield and score a run. Did it last night.
Can he do it again here? On Duke's 1-2 once again. Swing and a miss. Chase to pitch below the zone. A big first out for Tanner Duke. Turner down swinging.
Now you turn it over to Sheehan. He's 0 for 2 today. And he's been one of the Gatemen's hottest hitters. His batting average has been raised 50 points during this win streak. You could say maybe he's cooling off. I say he's due.
2 ground outs tonight, but yeah, he's raised the average. He's gotten on base. An RBI spot for him here. Tyne runs at second. First pitch of the at-bat, way outside on a fastball. First baseman Wolf, just behind the grass, shaded well over from the line. Everyone else at normal depth across the infield. 1-0 to Sheehan. Big hack and a miss, 1-1. The Gatemen trying to come through in an obvious RBI situation. Bases loaded, no one out, now 1 out. 1-1 from Duke. Just off the end of the bat. Count goes to 1-2. And if Duke were to get out of this inning unscathed, you got to think.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, you got to think of the momentum the Mariners would get from that. Already up by 2. They've out-hit Wareham 9-4, but up by just 2 runs. Shane trying to change it. A 1-2 pitch with the bases juiced. Just gets a piece of it, fouled off his leg, and they'll do it again.
That one's got to hurt. Got to take your time and step back into the box.
Shane's driven in 7 entering this contest. 3 waiting in the wings for him. After the foul ball, again the 1-2. Another poke foul. Shane continues to battle.
You can keep that foul ball, courtesy of attorney Glenn Hannington. his daughter Tennis, and his grandson Baby Chase.
Fans in attendance hoping for the 6th straight Gatemen win. They've won 6 of 7 since ending their 5-game skid to start the month. Down by 2 here. The 1-2 to Cheyenne. Breaking ball, way high, 2-2. Crowd anxious for a Gateman run. Haven't scored since the 2nd. Count even at 2-2. Duke a kick and a deal. Weak comebacker right on the mound. He fields cleanly, throws home for an out. That'll be it. So they get the most important run at the plate as Shane will reach, but an unproductive out.
It's the same as a strikeout. It's unproductive. It doesn't do anything if you're Wareham. I mean, this would just be...
Now batting the right fielder, number 20, Easton Brayfogle.
This would be awful. If they can't even get one in, bases loaded, nobody out.
And now the opportunity is Breyfogel's. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a groundout tonight. Scored the go-ahead run last night after his double to left center field, nearly left the yard. Lefty on righty, pitch from Duke. Breyfogle swinging, looping one foul down the left field line. Breyfogle participating in the home run derby in just a couple of days. No homers, no RBIs for the outfielder so far with the Gatemen, and now behind in the count 0-2. McHugh singled the other way to begin the inning. McDonald walked, as did Ritchie. Turner then struck out. Shane reached on to fielder's choice. The out made at the plate. So it went from bases loaded, no one out, to bases loaded, 2 outs. And a big spot for Easton Breyfogle. Team down by 2, the 0-2 pitch from Duke. In the dirt, good block by Conti, 1-2. Hitting with runners in scoring position hasn't been a challenge for Wareham across this win streak. Wasn't earlier in the game in the 2nd, has been here in the 5th, though. With 2 away, the 1-2 pitch. Breyfogle takes. Well off of the zone, count even.
He's got nowhere to put you either. Yes, there's 2 strikes. You have to protect the plate, but he has to pitch to you. You're the one with the bases loaded.
Tying run on at second base from 0-2 to 2-2. Pitch to Breyfogle. Just misses the outside corner. Works the count full, and the runners get a head start.
Nowhere to put him. Nowhere to put him.
It's Chris Ramirez on deck.
Just don't go chasing.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Payoff pitch to Breyfogle. Runners take off, and Breyfogle sends it out of play. Can he come through out of the 8th spot in the order? McDonald at third, Ritchie at second, Shane at first. Waiting in the wings for Breyfogle. Another 3-2 pitch. High pop fly into foul territory, drifting out of play, and no chance for Brini in left to make a play. How about this battle right now between Duke and Breyfogle? Count started at 0-2.
I mean, as a baseball fan, this is exactly what you want, but as a Gatemen fan, you need Breyfogle to come up here.
Can he do it here? Another 3-2 pitch. Hard hit to the left side. Backing up is Marsh. Scoops it. The long throw to first. Not in time. 1 run already in. In to score is Ritchie. The game is tied.
Heads up base running from Colin Ritchie. That goes so unnoticed. Breyfogle was streaking down that line. He knew it was going to be a tough play for Marsh at short. And, of course, the direction is going to be, okay, well, we're going to throw over to first and try and get that out. And Breyfogle was just moving. Ritchie just did not stop at third. It was either he's getting thrown out or he's going to score. I mean, that is a huge 2-run single for Easton Breyfogle. Wow.
Eric Lux is just making sure Breyfogle's all right, hustling all the way down the line. Talked about his speed yesterday. He scored the go-ahead run, utilizing that speed on a shallow fly ball into left. Well, now he brings in the tying 2 runs, using his speed to beat out an infield single. Not many other guys who can beat that out. And again, as you said, credit Richie. Now it's Ramirez, a chance to give his team the lead. Righty on righty, pitch from Duke, down low. And what a scoop by Marsh initially to make that play.
Yeah, I mean, if that gets past him, I don't know if Cheyenne scores from first, but he's over at third, at least.
Maybe the result's the same, but he made it close, that's for sure. 1-0 to Ramirez, choking up, taking high.
And now you've got Duke off balance a little bit here. That's why Inouye wants to come in and talk to him. He's just like, you need to settle down. But this is a pressure-packed situation. He just gave up the lead. This game is, I mean, it's nowhere near over. We're 7-7 in the 5th.
Mm-hmm. I mean, how often do you see the tying run score from second on an infield base hit? But Richie made it happen. 4th game of the summer with the Gatemen for Ramirez. Hitters count 2-0. Lays off that pitch, and he's worked the count to 3-0. Top of the order, and Chase Cruson on deck.
Yeah, now Duke is frustrated. He's really trying to get some of these calls. Marvin Gomez is not giving him an inch. Don't be surprised if he leaves something over the plate and Ramirez hit it into a gap.
Taking there at the knees.
Yeah, he took it all the way.
Yeah, Duke had obviously struggled to find the zone this at-bat. And what a great at-bat by Breyfogle. It was 0-2 he was down. Worked it full. Fouled off a couple of close pitches before that infield single. 3-1 to Ramirez now. On the outside corner, called strike 2 as Duke battles back. Count goes full. Runners will have a head start.
Ramirez has tried to go the other way a couple of times, and he did to Cooney in right field. Cooney dropped it, but if he can just slice something down into right field, could clear the bases. Give the Gatemen the lead at a minimum.
Comes the 3-2 pitch. The other way, it's down for a base hit. Cheyenne getting the wave around third. The throw in from Coonan, play at the plate. Cheyenne's in there. How about the new guy?
He's pretty good, wouldn't you say? I'd say so. Breyfogle didn't come into this team a whole long ago. I mean, he hasn't played a whole lot of games. He's doing pretty well. Drew Rogers has been well. This team is special, Cory. I don't know what it is, but they just find a way to battle and fight and get back into every game.
Breyfogle got to third on the throw, so he's 90 feet away. The Gatemen have the lead back. 8-7. They played it 3 in the last of the 5th. And you called it, Josh. He went the other way. Fell right in front of Coonan. Shane's got good speed. Certainly helped that he was off with the 3-2 pitch with 2 away. 1-0. 2-0. Coonan made a nice throw, but not in time.
I don't know, Cory. I mean, I called the Colin Ritchie home run yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I mean, that was, what, ball 6 for Brewster. It was a 2-0 count to Ritchie. I said, you know, he's in a hitter's count. He could sky one into right field. His pull side's exactly what he did. Starting to feel like Tony Romo.
Yeah. 2-0. High pop-up. Shallow center field. Marsh wants it, and Marsh has it. The side is retired in the 5th, but not before the Gatemen strike back. They tie it and then take the lead. Breyfogle, the infield single, plates 2. Ramirez gives his team the lead. It's now Gatemen back up in front 8-7. Josh Richardson has you the rest of the way. Should be an exciting finish. Stay tuned to Cape League TV.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, Dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts. Milton Rents, your local source.
As the sponsor of tonight's game, PCT Federal Credit Union is proud to root for the home team. We're thrilled to offer great rates on auto loans, home equity lines of credit, and so much more. Visit us on Cranberry Highway in West Wareham.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of the lightweight planting soil for green roof installations, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your newly renovated Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Shameless Plug Electric, hitting home runs on every job. Wareham's top choice for electrical work. Call Shameless Plug Electric.
Representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham.
Well, so far in this one, if you're just joining us on Cape League TV, you've missed a lot. 15 runs through 5 innings of action from Spillane Field, and the Gatemen hold a narrow 8-7 lead over the Mariners. Alongside Cory Miller, I'm Josh Richardson. We'll have you the rest of the way here on Cape League TV. Hudson Rowan back on the mound, his second inning of action. It'll go 2-3-4 for the Mariners. Marsh, Robbins, and Wolf ready to go here in the 6th. First pitch. This is away. Cory, what a 5th inning.
It just says so much about the character of this team. Down at multiple points in the game, 2-0 to start, and then 7-5 to rally back.
Liner back up the middle, caught by Rowan.
Hello.
Quick reflexes on the bump for the lefty. Who says pitchers aren't athletes?
It's just one of those situations where you have to react split second. You have basically no reaction time, and you just hope you can put your glove in the right spot. Hudson Rowan certainly did. He'll take that. That ball gets past him. Probably headed up the middle for a base hit.
And that was incredible. What a play from Rowan. Breaking ball finds the outer corner, 0-1. I mean, how often do you really see that go successfully? I mean, that was
rarely.
Insane. And you're right, he just kind of threw his glove there and just hoped that the ball would find it, and it did.
Because really that's all you can do is just throw your glove in a particular spot. You just have so little reaction time.
So Marsh hits that one hard. Satisfied with a line out back to the pitcher. 1-1, wave and a miss from Robbins. He's behind 1-2. Robbins had that towering home run in the 3rd. Plated 2. At that point, pulled the Mariners back within 1. 1-2, swing and a miss.
And this is what Rowan and the Gatemen needed. Obviously, there's still an out from finishing the half inning. But when your squad gives you a lead, it's 1 run. But you need to capitalize then on the other side and try and preserve that lead.
Yeah, if you can get just through an inning quick, Harwich has scored in every inning except the 2nd. 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and then 1 in the 5th. Gateman was 1-for-0-0-3. First pitch, fastball misses away. Kyle Wolf's 1-for-3 on the night. Singled in the 1st. Fly out and a ground out sense. Rowan deals. Wave and a miss. 1-1.
The location just has been much sharper for Hudson here in the 6th. Had some issues with it. Some walks in the 5th. Just some non-competitive pitches to set up hitters' counts and then a couple of 4-pitch walks. But he's really found it, and he shows you how effective he is when he's locating.
Fastball misses away at 91 for Rowan. We've talked about him a little bit. Stats can be a little bit skewed just based on 2 bad outings in relief. That's the thing for relief pitchers. Just 1 bad outing can ruin your ERA, but more often than not, you're pitching pretty well. High fly ball into right field. Breifogel back, and he makes the catch in the alley. That retires the side. Quick 1-2-3 here in the 6th. Easy up and down for Rowan. And Wareham heads back up with a slim 8-7 lead on Cape League TV.
The team at Cape Cod Healthcare.
Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website, www.rkm-law.com. Gatemen up 1-0 here in the home half of the sixth. Or not, up 1-0, up by one run. And now, Cory, this is a much different team than it was at the beginning of the season. Really just a few days ago, MLB Draft taking some pretty big-name Gatemen stars.
Yeah, 15 former Gatemen players selected across the 20 rounds. Brendan Summerhill out of Arizona, the first Gateman to go off the board. How about that? 42nd overall to the Tampa Bay Rays. So one of the earlier guys called, first Wareham player. And then it's always nice to see guys who we're obviously familiar with this past summer. Jared Davis out of Virginia Tech, and then Patrick Galley, who's had a really big summer for Wareham out of the bullpen. They both go in the 17th round, separated by just 8 picks. Athletics and Red Sox respectively for the two. So those are the two guys who played for the Gatemen this 2025 summer who heard their names called.
Yeah, Davis was released pretty early on in the year, but Galley had been a mainstay in the bullpen. Pitched to nearly a sub-1 ERA. He was pretty reliable for the most part. Just a couple bad outings, but overall pretty consistent as well. So those guys will be missed. Congratulations to all of the former Gatemen as well. Wishing them the best of luck in the minor leagues, and then hopefully the show later on. Meanwhile, just west of the bridge, Gatemen up 8-7 here in the sixth. Carnes, McHugh, and McDonald, 2-3-4 in the order for Wareham. First pitch. Fastball misses downstairs. Thomas Shirtliff, the right-hander, into the game. Third pitcher in for Harwich tonight.
6'2 righty out of Penn, 5 games, 1.50 ERA, so just 2 earned runs in 12 total innings pitched. Not surprised that a Mariners pitcher has a ERA that's pretty low, 1.5. He's been solid for the Mariners this summer.
1-0. Fastball finds the corner, a ball and a strike.
And we've talked about how Harwich has had some new arms that maybe haven't been effective because they've lost a lot of these great pitchers from earlier in the season via the draft or going back to college or what have you.
1-1 to Carnes, fouls it off. We've talked about it a little bit, Cory. Coming into this game, it really seemed like it was going to be the Harwich pitching staff versus the Gatemen offense. Now, the Gatemen offense has shown up. Harwich pitching staff, not so much. On the other side, Gatemen kind of middle of the pack in terms of on the mound. Harwich towards the bottom of Cape Cod average on base percentage. So definitely not what we were expecting. We mentioned it earlier. You know, that's baseball. Harwich, even still with the 8 runs allowed, still supports the best ERA across the Cape, 3.48. That's live updated to this moment in time. Carnes fouls that back. Help the Kituit is at 3.63 in second place. They gave up 8 runs to YD in a loss, 8-5. Brewster held on to beat Falmouth 12-3. So those are 2 pretty big scores that have gone final already. The 2 teams chasing Wareham for first place in the West Division. Pretty tightly packed. 2-2. Lined into center field. Dropping in front of Carter. Leadoff hit for Hunter Carnes.
Nice job by Hunter Carnes. We mentioned that coming into this game, he was in a bit of a slump, and that was his first hit of the night, but he had walked Once in the first, once in the second, he'd scored 2 runs. And that time just a pitch, he fights it off, nice spot. Bottom outside corner of the zone, he just goes the other way. Nice job to get a base hit, start the 6th with a base runner.
Yeah, Carnes entered today 0 for his last 10, 1 of his last 13. He was 0 for 1 with 2 walks, but he gets the single there. He's 1 for 2 on the night. Here's Chris McHugh. Takes a fastball at the knees, strike 1.
And so with that YD win over Katuitt, that means if the Gatemen hold on to a win here tonight, they have sole possession of first place in the West.
Yeah, Kettleers and the Gatemen tied in terms of points coming in. Wareham just edging them out in terms of winning percentage.
The Q's had a nice night, too. Double, sack, fly, single.
Chance to add on. Started off that rally in the 5th. Infield single, 0-2. Fastball misses up and away, 1-2. Yeah, that single in the 5th started that rally. It was pretty softly hit. Shintaro Inoue had to range over to his left. It was a tough play for him, and with McHugh sprinting down the line, Ryan Smythe has talked. He's got sneaky speed. Had it right there. 1-2, fouls it off.
He really does, and a guy in McHugh who has really only played first base for the Gatemen, but before he was at NC State, when he was at VCU, a guy who played a lot of second. You have to have some speed and agility and mobility to play a middle infield spot, so despite that large frame as a power hitter, corner infielder, he does have some speed.
Here's the 1-2. Fastball misses away. McDonald walked, Ritchie walked, so Wareham had bases loaded, nobody out. Thought, okay, well, you know what, maybe they can at least get 1 back. And Turner strikes out swinging. Van Shane grounds into a fielder's choice. Bases remain loaded with 2 outs. Felt like hope was lost. Easton Breifogel hit one sharply over to short. 2-2, fouls it off again, slicing out of play and over the Harwich dugout. Breifogel hit one sharply to Marsh, kind of ate him up a little bit. It was a long throw over. Breifogel has the speed, reached first safely. McDonald forced in to come score, and Ritchie right behind him. Heads up base running, tied the game. Ramirez an RBI single right after. That's how the Gatemen ended up here with an 8-7 advantage. Now McHugh's 2-2, misses at his head. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
And obviously you would have loved for Turner or Shane to come through initially before the 2 outs with no one out. But listen, it's all the same. The fact that Breifogel and Ramirez did what they did, work those at-bats, a credit to them.
Carnes leading off on base here in the 6th. Payoff, high in the air, shallow left field. Brini settles under it, and he makes the catch. Easy jog for the left fielder. Out number 1 in the 6th.
And those 2 at-bats, Breifogel and Ramirez in the 5th, could very well be the difference in this game because, listen, they came through with hits. That's obvious, but the nature of those at-bats. Breifogel was down in the count 0-2 before fouling off a bunch of close pitches, working the count to full count. He beat out an infield single using those wheels. Same thing with Ramirez. Fouled off some close pitches before the base hit.
McDonald takes a fastball low. And we've talked about it. Wareham and Katuitt sharing that top spot in the West right now, 12-13, 11-12-2, record-wise, respectively. But as the season has gone on, I mean, that West is just so close. Big whiff and a miss. For McDonald, it's 1-1. And with Katuitt losing, Falmouth losing as well, Hyannis currently behind by 1 against Bourne. That could obviously change in the late stages of that one. Kind of feels like the Gatemen could be playing with house money already on top with a chance to win and extend that lead. Get back to 500 in the West Division.
Yeah, and then a chance to create some more separation as we talked about against Katuitt tomorrow. And that's the thing because, listen, you're playing so well right now, you're not going to remain perfect the rest of the season. So those chances when you do buckle, having the separation is really nice.
2-1. Fastball misses upstairs. Check over to first, not in time. Yeah, Cory, the Gatemen haven't been at 500 or higher since June 22nd. which was a 3-2 loss to Harwich, and it dropped the Gatemen back to 4-4. That was the first of a 3-game losing skid before the end of the month when Wareham took 2 of 3. McDonald skies one into shallow right field. It drifts foul into the right field grandstand. Yeah, Brewster 2-1 win on Friday the 27th. Lost to YD, win over Orleans. That brought the Gatemen back to 6-7 heading into July, then 5 straight losses, 6-12. Have won 6 of 7 since. Bring them up to 12-13 on the season. 3-2, runner goes. Lined into center field. That drifts down for a hit. Carnes around second. He's on his way to third. Carter on a bobble. Can't field it cleanly. Wouldn't have mattered. And the Gatemen have runners on the corners with one out here in the 6th.
So this Caden McDonald guy is pretty good at baseball. A single, a homer, a walk,
yeah,
and a
he's
single.
3 for 3 with 3 RBIs and a walk.
He got a ball in
And yesterday he pitched 5 innings of no-hit baseball.
So both sides, he got a pitch inner part of the plate, which he just kind of fisted into center, but he's really good at just getting the barrel of the ball, simplifying the approach. Yeah, he's got the power. We've seen it now 3 times this summer, but he can just be simply a line drive hitter up the middle, too. The hit and run works to perfection, too, to get Carnes 90 feet away.
Great spot with 1 out. First pitch to Richie, misses downstairs.
And you knew the insurance would be big here. We've talked about it almost every close game the Gatemen have played in because, listen, the Mariners have gone against trend and they scored 7 runs, and they don't seem content to keep the deficit where it is right now.
1-0. Misses above the belt. 2 balls, no strikes on Colin Ritchie. And that's the thing, Cory. You know, you don't want to just stop scoring runs because you can rely on, well, they don't hit very well as a whole this season. It might just be an outlier. Well, they're hitting pretty well tonight. 2-0 pitch. Taken just below the belt. 2-1.
And listen, the bullpen especially lately has been really good. We've talked about as a staff how good the Wareham pitching staff has been over the past week, but I think when you look at the Gatemen bullpen lately, it's been bend, don't break. So give them all the help you can.
Here's the 2-1 with men on the corners. Richie skies one into right field, but way in front of it, it goes foul. Yeah, and that's been the thing with the pitching staff. Seems like every time the Gatemen have a 2-run cushion going into the 9th, it always gets cut in half. It was 5-3 against Bourne back on Friday. Ended up being a 5-4 win. The following night, it was 3-1 over Hyannis. Gatemen came away with a 3-2 win over the Harbor Hawks. So they get it done, but not by a very comfortable cushion. 2-2, skied into right field. That's drifting back. Coonan at the wall. He looks over his head, and it's out of here. How about 4 home runs in 6 games for Colin Ritchie? And there's all the insurance Wareham needs. 11-7 game for the Gatemen.
Colin Ritchie says, don't forget about me. McDonald's been doing it with the bat, but so is Ritchie, as you just mentioned. And that's plenty of insurance right there. Now a 4-run lead. When Ritchie squares those balls up, he gets under them and gives them a ride to that pull side especially. I mean, they leave the yard in a pretty emphatic way, too.
That's what we talked about back in the 5th, Cory, is that Ritchie's batting average came into today under 200. But he gets on base a pretty good amount. He's got a good eye. He walks pretty consistently. His average now up to 204 on the season. And he's not a guy that's going to hit for contact, but when he squares them up, they're going to go a long way. Chopper over to third, but foul for Colby Turner. He's 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch.
And he's answered the call. He's elevated himself back in the order thanks to that power and finding that swing. And that's what you need out of him in that 5th spot in the order. You know he's going to get pitches to hit, and more times than not, he's going to be up with runners on base. And he's come through in some big spots.
Here's the 0-1. Fouled off. Huge spot for the Gatemen in the 6th. Back-to-back innings with 3 earned runs. Taking control of this game, down 7-5, up 11-7. Huge. 0-2 pitch. Chopped. Number down the first baseline, foul. Something else, Cory, that we had talked about a lot was, Harwich entered the game with the lowest ERA across Cape Cod. At the same time, you look over the last 7 days, they're second to last at 6.75. Now, obviously, the stats of the last completed inning get taken into account yet, but that's only going to increase after the 6th inning loads into the CapeCodLeague.com system. Wareham at 3rd in that same category, ERA over the last 7 days at 3.64. So you'd certainly think that with a 4-run cushion and 3 innings to play, ball gets away. Gatemen are going to have an advantage in the late stages of this game.
Absolutely, especially since you put yourself in a spot up by 4 runs now. Listen, it's not 6, it's not 8, but we've talked about the ability that pitchers have when they have some cushion to just play catch, let the defense make plays, and relax out there on the mound.
1-2 to Turner. Nubs one fair down the first baseline, and it stays to the left of that bag. Easy play for Wolf, 2 outs. Nearly the exact same as his weak hit down the first baseline to the right of the bag. This one just stays fair.
Now batting the third baseman, number 16.
3 unassisted for the Bucks, 2 outs in the 6th.
University of Miami.
And for Wareham, again, we don't want to make too much of a big deal out of it, but I think it's just so impressive when you lose a guy in Levi Clark, who has just been the central part of this offense, and a couple days later you put up 11 runs and counting.
And that's the thing, right? When Wareham lost Ty Daly at the start of July, the entire thought process was, you know what, they're going to start to struggle offensively. Well, they didn't necessarily struggle. It was really the pitching staff that started to give up a lot of those runs, and that was the reason why they were losing a good chunk of those games. Cheyenne fouls went off. But that loss of Daly didn't affect them as much as we maybe have thought.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people that follow the team maybe have thought as well.
You look at those 5 straight losses and you think, well, this is because they lost Ty Daly, but the offense was actually producing.
Yeah.
The pitching just not as much so.
But now you're in a spot, you lose Levi Clark, got 11 runs in 5 2/3 innings against the team that came in across the season with the best ERA in the league. Yeah. Pitch misses outside. Cheyenne ahead 2 balls and a strike.
You look at what Clark leads this team in right now. Obviously not with them anymore, but batting average. Home runs, he's tied for Richie now. Hits, runs. It's a lot of different stats.
That's pretty good.
Diversified all-around player.
Wish him the best of luck at Tennessee this upcoming season. 2-1, hit back up the middle. Soft play for Marsh. Toss over is up high, and it stays just south of the padding into the Harwich dugout. So now Cheyenne back at first. 2-out base runner from the E6 from Tanner Marsh.
You knew he had to hurry that throw, had a long way to range up the middle, ball not hit particularly hard, but Cheyenne's got really good speed. Would have been a bang-bang play regardless. Credit the hustle by Cheyenne, trying to get on, extend his on-base streak. Credit him with the single, hard-earned.
It's really been an all-around performance for the Gatemen tonight. 7 of the 9 batters with at least 1 hit. Here's Breifogel, fouled away.
Now batting the right fielder, number 20, Easton Breifogel from Arizona.
Breifogel 1 for 3 on the night. Strikeout swinging in the 2nd. Ground out to first in the 3rd. That 2 RBI single in the 5th tied the game. 0-1, taken in the dirt.
And this is another game where 1 through 9, the production has been there from just about every hitter. And that's just a sign of a team with a lot of offensive options. Listen, it's not going to happen every game. But when it does, this Gatemen offense so prolific.
Runner goes, fouled away. Hit and run chance. Cheyenne slides in safely to second, only till he has to realize that he's got to make the jog back to first.
A lot of hustle to beat out the infield hit. Obviously, the throw by Marsh helped, but a lot of running for the Gatemen third baseman here.
1-2 on Breyfogle. 2 outs here in the 6th. Gatemen up 11-7 thanks to the 3-run shot from Colin Ritchie. Here's a pitch. This is upstairs. 2-2.
And it's interesting. You look at the 6 of the last 7. Even tonight's game, 2, 16-9, 5-2, 10-2, 5-4, 3-2, 12-3, 4-3, 11-7. A lot of low scoring, a lot of high scoring, and the Gatemen have won all but one of those games.
A lot of numbers, a lot of high numbers. 2-2 pitch, fouled away.
And you don't win all of those games unless both sides of the ball, your hitting and your pitching, are showing up. Because a lot of times, if a team is beat off their trend, like if they score a lot of runs, but then the bats go quiet, the pitching's not going to hold up their end of the bargain because it's off trend. Well, some nights it's the pitching, some nights it's the hitting, but both combined to play well enough.
Tonight it's been the hitting for both teams. Runner goes again, 2-2 fouled away. Shane stays upright. Now heads back to first.
And this has been another really impressive at-bat by Breyfogle, as he had in the 5th, the 2 RBI infield single. Obviously just trying to get the swing back. He's been a little banged up. It's kind of the bats have come sparingly, but he has had really a lot of success fouling pitches off, seeing pitch in the zone.
2-2. Foul tip, just gets a piece of it. Stays alive. These 7 runs for Harwich so far tonight, of course, just through 6 innings. Tied for the 3rd most runs the Mariners have scored in a single game this season. Had 10 in the 10-2 win over Brewster back on Independence Day. Had 8 in the 9-8 loss to Falmouth 4 days later. Fastball misses away, 3-2. Other than that, had a couple wins with 7 runs scored, couple losses. But not a team that consistently can get to this high of a number. And if the Mariners can't find a way to come back, certainly going to feel like an offensive performance that might be going to waste. Down by 4, runner goes, 3-2, swing and a miss. A strikeout from Breyfogle ends the inning. Cheyenne left stranded on the paths, but the Gatemen extend this lead up to 4. You can thank Colin Ritchie for that. It's an 11-7 Gatemen advantage heading into the 7th inning of action on Cape League TV.
Law. Live, life, law. Covering all residential and commercial real estate matters. You live life to the fullest and let us Sync Law. That's synklaw.com. Sync with an I, not a Y. Be selfish. We represent only you.
Sports Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen Field. Go Gatemen.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Hudson Rowan stays on the mound for another inning of action. Going to be his 3rd. Toss down to second base means we're ready to get underway here from Spillane Field for the 7th inning. Gatemen on top 11-7. What a comeback so far tonight, and it really has. 6 runs over the last 2 innings. Gone from 7-5, trailing, so now up by 4. Kennedy, Brini, and Conti due up for the Mariners here.
Now batting the 3rd baseman, number 11, D. Kennedy from Kansas State.
And Rowan has showed, obviously, against Hyannis, he can give his team length on the mound out of the bullpen. Obviously, the scenario not the same here as it was Hyannis, and obviously earlier in this game, pitching with his team down. Then it was a 1-run lead, a huge shutout inning to give the Gatemen and Richie a chance to add on. Now a much more comfortable spot, up by 4.
Fastball finds the zone. It's a ball and a strike. Yeah, and Rowan has come in and pitched in some high leverage moments, some low leverage spots as well. Ryan Smythe kind of has been mixing him up a little bit. Curveball high in the air into the night sky at Spillane Field. Breyfogle under it, and he makes the catch, fights some lights. Out number 1 in the 7th. Harwich down to the final 8 of the night.
And one of the themes we've talked about offensively that I think is relevant to the pitching staff is, listen, if you succeed in a high-pressure way or even just overall, you're going to get rewarded. And Hudson Rowan, the way he bounced back from that Katuitt game, allowing the grand slam to throw those shutout innings against Hyannis in a close game, his team was down. That's why he got put in this high-pressure spot tonight, because he's already succeeded against Hyannis in a similar spot.
Yeah, and that was the thing from the Katuitt game. That one just about out of reach. It was 13-3. Rowan was just trying to put away the mercy rule, send everybody home 2 innings early, gave up the grand slam. Pitch misses downstairs to Nico Brini. It's 1-1. But then he came in against Hyannis, pitched pretty well. Helped the Gatemen take that one 3-2. Extended that winning streak to 3. Gatemen have just kept on rolling from there. Win against Falmouth the following day. Brewster yesterday has it up to 5, 6 of the last 7. Chance to add to that here. 1-2, wave and a miss. Breaking ball fooled Brini, 2 away in the 7th.
You're just seeing Rowan get stronger and stronger and more comfortable the longer he's been in this game. That 5th inning kind of shaky. Couple of walks, a base hit. The fielder's choice to end the 5th, 3 up, 3 down, 6th. 2 outs here in the 7th. He's really settled in, and he's found the location, too.
Well, Conti has drawn 2 walks today. Only retired once. It was a fly out to center field in the 2nd. And gave that ball a ride. Cruzen had to retreat all the way to the warning track to make the grab. So not an easy out at the bottom of this Harwich lineup. It's 1-1 on the foul off.
And so you've seen the Mariners have been able to respond to the fact that their pitching has not been there, kind of let them down, despite that they're usually really, really great. But the question is, to this extent, do they have that ability? 11 runs is a lot.
Fouled on the right field line, out of play. Yeah, it would be a season high if they could come back and tie this game. Season high at 10 against Brewster. That is a good Whitecaps pitching staff as well. But still, be a lot for this team to do, coming in with the worst batting average across all of Cape Cod. Fastball misses away, 2-2. Rowan delivers, breaking ball, golfed into right field, flirting with the line. It drops fair. Breyfogle stumbles, but recovers enough in time to hold Conti to a 2-out single.
Was well played by Breyfogle. Had such a long way to go, and he made a nice play. As Conti turned, thought about maybe advancing to second, just that big turn at first. Breyfogle even made it competitive, that play at first base. Just too much ground to have to make up, but he certainly made it interesting. Nice play by the right fielder. 2-out base hit, but Rowan's still an out away from getting out of the inning.
First pitch, wave and a miss from Coonan. Yeah, I mean, Cory, we've been here since, 2 o'clock, 1:45-ish, and temperature up in the high 80s.
Warm one.
Yeah, it's dipped down since then. 8:40 p.m. on this Wednesday night, down to 77. When that comes in, ball is going to die a little bit more often. But also grass can get a little slippery. Dew coming in. It's a good thing Breyfogle made it back upright in time to hold Conti to a single. 1-1 fastball finds the zone. Rowan a pitch away from escaping the inning.
And obviously the conditions help, but we've seen especially the Gatemen, but other teams as well, the more they've gotten used to the wood bats, the more power they've gotten, and more home runs we've seen at Spillane Park.
1-2. Swing and a foul tip. Just got a piece of it. Did Coonan. Stays alive.
You know, it was a situation early in the summer where Wareham's power was almost exclusively coming on the road, but we've seen Rogers hit a home run on Sunday here. Now McDonald and Ritchie, obviously, for the Gatemen tonight.
1-2. Fastball downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Coonan. Shintaro Inoue waits on deck as the 9-hitter. Coonan can reach safely. He'll come up to bat. 2-2. High fly ball, shallow right field. That one's flirting with the line. Moving over and making a diving grab is Colby Turner.
Oh, wow.
Turner ranged over from second base, showcased the wheels, and made the catch right along that right field foul line, and that retires the side. Harwich leaves one stranded thanks to a masterful play from Colby Turner defensively. Wow!
Nothing I have to say. I mean, I'm just speechless.
I mean, that was incredible, Cory.
I mean, he had so long to run. He even looked like overran it and then had to adjust, but the amount of ground he had to make up, incredible.
Conti left stranded on first. Harwich down in the 7th. Gatemen come up to bat in the home half, trying to add on to this lead. While a new pitcher warms up, we'll take a break on Cape League TV. It's the Gatemen 11, the Mariners.
Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby. Located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
091735.
It's the 7th inning with the Gatemen on top 11-7 over the Mariners. Alongside Cory Miller, I'm Josh Richardson. Cory, this one's been clearly high scoring, 18 runs, with Wareham trying to add on a few more for some insurance. They'll have to do it against Christian Rodriguez, who has been lights out for Harwich this summer. 0 ERA.
Yeah, 12 and a third innings pitched, no earned runs, just 4 walks compared with 13 strikeouts, all out of the bullpen. He has just been such a dominating force and a great option for the Mariners.
It's been one of those arms that's been with Harwich for a majority of this season. Rodriguez slices that off down the right field line, foul. Not a whole lot of those guys left. Just everybody kind of moving on, whether it be returning back to their college teams or going to the draft. He's appeared in every matchup this summer between these two teams. He's ahead 0-2 on Chris Ramirez. Pitch. This is high.
And so Harwich would have loved to utilize him, especially with a lead or maybe a tie game and a situation where you absolutely need him to keep the score where it is. Similar spot here. You don't want him to allow any more insurance runs to score if you're Wareham, but much different game when you're down by 4.
1-2, breaking ball misses away. Most Harwich has scored in an inning tonight so far, 2. Done that on 3 separate occasions. Added 1 more in the 5th. Tallies the total up to 7. 2-2, chopped right back to Rodriguez. It's off his glove. Inoue has to make a charge. He won't have a play. And a leadoff base runner for the Gatemen, thanks to Chris Ramirez, showcasing the speed yet again.
once that ball hit off of Rodriguez's glove and he couldn't glove it cleanly, really no chance. He just knew that Ramirez was going to get a base hit. We saw Hudson Rowan make a really nice play on that comebacker. It's just really tough when the reaction time got to be so quick. You're on an elevated surface, a little bit on the mound. Ramirez just too fast. Give him credit. He's putting the balls in play and making it happen, getting on base.
And that was one of the good things for Rowan. That was a line drive back from Tanner Marsh. But he caught it in the air. The ball just stayed low. First pitch misses away for Cruzen. But when you can keep it in the air, it's a little bit easier to kind of time up of where it's going to go and locate it. But that was a high chop from Ramirez that went over the head of Rodriguez. It would have been a pretty difficult play for him to try and make. Ramirez on first. 1-0 pitch, fouled away.
And Ramirez, we've obviously seen the speed in the field or running out base hits, but we haven't seen him take off and try and swipe a bag.
Kind of feels like it's a matter of time, patiently waiting.
Yeah, would love to see it right now. Rodriguez really hasn't paid much attention to him to begin this Cruzen at bat.
He's taking 2 steps to his right. Stays put. 1-1, wave and a miss. Cruzen behind 1-2. Cruzen 0 for 3 tonight with a walk in the second. Came around to score on the 3-run home run from Caden McDonald. 1-2. Misses downstairs. Ramirez takes off for second. No throw down for Conti. Bounce between his legs. No play. Runner on second in scoring position. Still nobody out in the 7th.
It just kind of looked like a great read there from Ramirez because I don't think he was off on that first move from Rodriguez, but once he recognized that ball was going to be low in the zone, tough to catch if you're Conti, he took off for second, easily up an extra 90 feet.
2-2 pitch. Misses away. Cruzen works the count back to full, trying to draw his second walk of the night. Cruzen entered on a 7-game hit streak in games that he started. That one exception, he pinch hit against Bourne, ended up striking out. But in games that he's been on the lineup card for Ryan Smythe, has a hit in his last 7. 3-2, chopper over to third. Good play across the diamond in time.
Number 6,
you know, obviously Cruzen is leading off tonight. I'm curious to see, we've seen him hitting third, fourth as well, the heart of this order. Curious to see how Ryan Smythe, when Braden Randall comes back, battling that migraine yesterday, how he responds or how he plays these guys in the field and especially in the lineup when you have 2 lefty bats like Cruzen and Randall who can get on base, who have done so really well over the course of this win streak. Randall's prototypically been your leadoff man when he's been playing, so where does that put Cruzen? The middle part of this order, McDonald swinging well, McHugh's had a nice game, Carnes has been a staple at the top, and you have Richie 5th right now, but a good problem to have if you're Ryan Smythe. Some nice lefty bat options have emerged.
1-0 fastball finds the corner. That's Maddox Maloney in over at the hot corner. Replaces D. Kennedy for the rest of this one. Late defensive change for Steve Englert, the Mariners squad. One to Carnes. Finds the zone, a ball and 2 strikes. Carnes 2 walks in the first 2 innings. He flew out over to third in the 4th. Single up the middle in the 6th. Started that rally, 3 runs. One of those scored on the 3-run shot from Richie. Big lead for Ramirez. Stays put, misses in the dirt, gets behind Conti, and another easy 90 feet for Chris Ramirez. He's 90 feet away.
Conti was kind of coming up trying to scoop that ball. Looked like it just got by him as he couldn't get his glove down all the way. A situation now where it looks like the Whitecaps will bring the infield in, but a spot where you put the ball in play with Ramirez's wheels on at third. Decent chance if you can put in play somewhere, he'll come in to score. We get another look on that wild pitching right through the wickets there.
Yeah, and you're already up by 4, which feels like a pretty comfortable lead. 2-2, high in the air, shallow infield. Marsh is back, still remains on the dirt, tracks it down, 2 outs. But if you can get another run across, that would A, be 3 straight innings where you score, but B, also take away the ability for Harwich to bring it back to even with just 1 swing. Be more than just a grand slam to tie this game.
Exactly. I mean, any insurance run here is just an added bonus. And listen, it does have relevance because the way your bullpen's pitching in the bend don't break, they've been really solid, but you just never know. The Mariners have pieced together some really nice innings offensively.
McHugh fouls that one down the left field line out of play. That's the thing. I mean, 2 runs wasn't safe of a lead in the 9th inning against this team. Last time the Mariners came to Spillane Field. Wareham led 5-3 in the 9th. Lazaro Calero was back out for his 2nd inning of action, had bases loaded, 2 outs. Shintaro Inoue, 2 RBI single back up the middle, tied the game. Harwich wins it in extras 6-5. Just feels like a Mariners team that's never going to go away. Got to put them away. 1-1, misses upstairs. Conti with a pump fake back to third, Ramirez in.
And to your point, we talked about it, 3 close games so far this summer between these 2 squads, and Harwich has gotten the edge in 2 of them. So they know how to compete and how to play in close games. That's why I want to extend the lead as far as possible.
2-1 pitch, breaking ball misses away. This will be the first team that the Gatemen will have completed their season series against this year. If they can even it up at 2-2, feel pretty good, of course. Play East Division teams 1 less time than your own. 3-1, rocketed into left center field gap. That's going back, and it's over the wall. Take a trot around the bags, Chris McHugh. Another home run on the season for the first baseman. 411 feet off the bat. No doubt about it. And make it a 13-7 lead for Wareham.
That's a home run right there. Chris McHugh got a pitch to hit right over the center of the plate, about knee high, and he elevated that baseball. I mean, that kind of corner right and left center field there, that is the deepest part of this ballpark. You need to get all of that baseball to go yard. And now you've got tagged Rodriguez for the first runs he's allowed this summer. What a shot from McHugh.
McDonald takes a first pitch in for a strike. And, I mean, we talked about it, Cory. When we got to sit out in center field for the win over Falmouth, we noticed how it just kind of cuts out into that left center and right center field gap. And it is really tough to hit a home run out to those parts of the ballpark. We've already seen 2 of those tonight.
Yeah. That's the home run we were waiting for on Sunday. Something in our general direction.
That would have been close.
Would have been, obviously, 2 more to the center field side. I don't think we would have had a chance to catch it, but would have been close.
1-1, broken bat. Flare over to third. Long toss across the diamond for Maloney. It's in time. Gateman side retired, but a 2-run home run for Chris McHugh plates 2 more. And the Gatemen on top 13-7 heading into the 8th on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
A+ repairs smartphones, tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first time.
Cape Cod Central Railroad is proud to sponsor the Wareham Gatemen for the 2nd year in a row. Experience the scenic beauty of Cape Cod like never before. Journey through picturesque marshes, cranberry bogs, and dunes on our historic rail line. Whether you're savoring a 5-course gourmet dinner, enjoying a Sunday brunch with a live jazz band, or bringing the family on a narrated excursion, there's a ride for everyone. Departing from Hyannis and Buzzards Bay, visit capetrain.com to book your ride today.
$123 goes to ticket number 109.
We're into the 8th, and Hudson Rowan back on the mound for the Gatemen. The offense is giving him some run support. Wareham leads Harwich 13-7 alongside Cory Miller. I'm Josh Richardson. The latest 2 runs came off the bat of Chris McHugh, hit a rocket shot into left center, 411 foot, no doubt about it.
I mean, you said it, no doubt about it. He had to get into it to leave the yard to that part of the park. He looked like an all-star. And speaking of Gatemen all-stars, Josh, did you know that Kyle Schwarber and Paul Skeens played for the Wareham Gatemen?
I think I did, actually.
If you didn't, it would be hard to miss after what they did last night in the MLB All-Star game in Atlanta. Paul Skeens got the start, obviously, a scoreless first inning of work. Some people say he's best known for knowing Livy Dunn. I say he's best known for being a stud on the mound. 100-mile-an-hour fastball got Riley Green out on that pitch. The velocity was there. And Kyle Schwarber in the swing-off. The AL came back to tie the game. 3 at-bats, 3 home runs in that swing-off. All-Star Game MVP for Kyle Schwarber.
2-0 fastball misses inside on Inoue. 3-0. Yeah, you know what I think Paul Skeens is most notable for?
What's that?
Pitching shutdown innings and still not coming away with the win. NL built a 6-0 lead last night. The AL came crashing back. 3-0, misses downstairs. And obviously he didn't go the 5 innings, so he wouldn't qualify for a win anyway, but the point still stands. I'm sure of it. I mean, what's his record now? 4-8. That's what I thought. With what 1.94 ERA,
2.01.
2.01.
So and that was the thing when Abby Smith, our producer, and I were talking about this graphic, and we were thinking about what stats to put in for Skeens. We're like, not the win-loss record, because despite the fact that the ERA is just above 2, he is 4-8.
I'll tell you what, he and Zach Wheeler are going back and forth for that NL Cy Young right now. If this was the 1980s and 1990s, he would be so far removed from that conversation because of how much more wins and losses were valued. That's why Nolan Ryan didn't come away with very many Cy Youngs in his career.
That's a good point.
Just because he didn't win a lot of games, but he struck out everybody he faced. First pitch misses downstairs to Bristol Carter, top of the order for the Mariners here in the 8th. Inoue on first, 4-pitch walk from Hudson Rowan. 6 outs remaining for the Mariners. Fastball misses below the knees, 2-0.
The depth by Hudson Rowan on the mound's really been nice for the Gatemen. Again, he pitched 4 innings the other day, and so why not trot him back out there? But listen, it's a lot more comfortable, and if the pitch counts down, why not keep throwing him on the mound? But he's really settled in as the game has progressed.
This is Maddox Maloney, rather. Skies one into shallow right field. Breifogel makes the grab. Inoue back to first. 1 out in the 8th.
So we've seen now 3 different guys in that leadoff spot. Broussard, Carter, Maloney.
Yeah, still curious why Broussard, why his day ended early.
Yeah.
He had a double in the first inning to lead off the game. He struck out swinging in the 3rd. Then had a 2 RBI single in the 4th. He was replaced to follow. He was playing pretty well.
He really was. I mean, the platoon advantage, I think, was the only reason, but a guy of Broussard's caliber, I think he's someone you slot in this order saying, hey, I don't really care lefty-righty matchup. This guy's going to be successful more times than not.
Pitch misses away. A ball and a strike on Marsh. One pitch, swing and a miss. Gatemen trying to close out these final 5 outs. Away with the 6th straight win. Get back to 500 for the first time since June 22nd. 1-2, whiff and a miss.
That Gatemen strikeout is brought to you by the law offices.
Out number 2, march down on strikes.
Rowan just continues to look more and more comfortable. He's been around the plate. The more he's pitched in this game, the more he's settled in. Obviously, listen, the larger cushion the past few innings helps, but he's just settled in, throwing his stuff. When he's around the plate with his fastball, hitters really just have a tough time with it. He's done a great job to now pitch 3 2/3 innings, helping out this pitching staff in the bullpen.
He gave up just that 1 run in the 5th, first inning that he entered. Since then has been shut down. Faced just 2 over the minimum. 0-1. Soft chopper over into right field, and it gets by Turner. In a way, puts the brakes on at second. Turner expecting that to be more of a pull side there from the righty Robbins. He goes the other way, and it pays off.
And that's just one of those tough spots where it's hit kind of perfectly right in between second and first. You saw McHugh offer at it, kind of turn in that direction at first. He probably had the best shot at this ball. The problem is if he makes that play, then if no one's covering first, Rowan's got a long way to go. So either way you slice it, it probably would have been a base hit. You talked about how Turner was playing closer to the second base bag. It's just kind of a perfect storm of unfortunate placement for the Gatemen. 2 runners on now. Rowan just needs that 1 last out here in the inning.
This is where those 2 more insurance run really come into play that the Gatemen scored in the 7th. Kyle Wolf could, with 1 swing of the bat, could have made this just a 1-run game. Things really change heading into the 9th, but 6-run cushion for Wareham. Rowan's 1-0, swing and a miss.
It allows you this cushion to just still, even with runners on base, the situation's not as pressure-packed as it might normally would be. You can still just focus on that hitter on the mound. At the plate, that is. The pitcher's on the mound.
I know what you meant. 1-1, fastball in the zone. Rowan a pitch away. Two on, 2 outs in the 8th. 1-2, swing and a miss. Huge yell from Hudson Rowan. He's pumped up. And the Gatemen escape the jam, still holding that 6-run lead. We head into the home half with Wareham on top, 13-7 on Cape League TV.
At Spillane Field. With kids.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
As the sponsor of tonight's game, PCT Federal Credit Union is proud to root for the home team. We're thrilled to offer great rates on auto loans, home equity lines of credit, and so much more. Visit us on Cranberry Highway in West Wareham.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of the lightweight planting soil for green roof installations, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your newly renovated Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Shameless Plug Electric, hitting home runs on every job. Wareham's top choice for electrical work. Call Shameless Plug Electric
by visiting our website, lxblaw.com.
It's the home half of the 8th from Spillane Field. The Gatemen still on top 13-7, trying to add on to that lead. They've done so in the previous 2 innings. Gatemen were down 7-5 in the 6th, scored 3 runs, up 8-7. Colin Ritchie, 3-run bomb in the 7th. Made it 11-7. Chris McHugh, a homer of his own, 2 more. Have us up to our score right now. So the Mariners making another change on the mound. Christian Rodriguez, his first runs allowed this season. And now coming in as his replacement, Ryan Reach, the righty out of Seton Hall.
Really nice job for the Gatemen to knock Rodriguez out of the game again. It was already somewhat of a comfortable lead, but to do it off of a pitcher who hadn't allowed a run all summer, things are really firing on all cylinders for Wareham. Reach has not had that same level of success as Rodriguez. 4 games, 2 starts, 5.87 ERA.
And he struck out 8 batters in 7 2/3 innings. 5 total runs allowed, all earned. Richie, Turner, and Sheehan. 5-6-7. First pitch, wave and a miss. Second half of this contest for Richie been much more successful than the first. Popped out to short for the second out in the first inning. Then he struck out looking in the second. Had 2 innings off. Came up to bat again in the 5th. He walked. Then a 3-run home run in the 6th. One pitch. Wave and a miss. 1-2.
It seems like we've talked about so many of these hitters who have maybe started off cold at one point but have started to find their groove. Richie being one of them. Van Sheehan lately hasn't had the same success today, but he is a base hit. Fogel's had a nice game, just 1 hit, but still that was a huge point in the game to tie things up. Hot bats have stayed hot, and the guys who were not as hot have turned it around.
2-2. Fastball just above the knees, strike 3. Yeah, I mean, Richie's batting average before that strikeout was at .204 on the season with an OPS a hair under 800. You think about that, to have an OPS that high with a batting average that low, that means, well, 2 things. He gets on base a lot, and when he does hit, he hits for power. That's exactly what he does. Average now at an even 200 on the season, but still an improvement at 196 entering today. Colby Turner takes a fastball downstairs.
And when you're getting power from Richie, listen, if the average stays low, it stays low, but you'll take that power even if it comes with the lower average slash line.
Talked about Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah,
That's kind of his MO. 1-0 downstairs, 2 balls, no strikes on Colby Turner. Speaking of all-stars, the only all-star starter that the Gatemen have. 1 of 5 for Wareham. All-star game on Saturday. 2-0. This is above his head. 3 balls and no strikes. Turner's already been hit by a pitch. That was back in the first. His bat is cooled off from how he started the month of July. Trying to get back on the right track. Had a nice sac fly yesterday. Scored the winning run. Inner corner with the fastball. 3 balls and 1 strike.
It is interesting, too. He started the season first 2 games really hot, cooled off, then that had absurd stretch. But he's just a streaky hitter. Obviously, the talent potential's there.
3-1, skies one into shallow left field. Maloney ranges over. He's got some room, and he makes the catch along the line. 2 away.
And that's just the way some hitters are when it comes to over the course of a long season. They're going to have hot stretches, cold stretches. Giancarlo Stanton, a guy like that. But when he is swinging the bat and his timing is there, he's one of the best hitters across the league. But for Turner, obviously, you'd love to see him carry that hot stretch into an elongated span. But his bat may come and go.
Sheehan rockets one down the left field line, foul. And that's the thing with Turner. He's one of only 2 guys in this Wareham lineup without a hit today. So they're still scoring 13 runs without him necessarily contributing a whole lot. And so if you're going to have a cold streak, might as well have it now before the playoffs. Sheehan rockets one back up the middle and through. 2-out single for the third baseman, his first hit of the night.
And it's a similar thing with Van Sheehan. Obviously, first 3 at-bats, no hits for him, but then the last 2 at-bats, couple of base hits going right back up the middle. He's just going to continue to raise his slash line. So Ryan Smythe at this point in the season, the way the offense is really churning day to day, has a lot of different options in terms of guys he can pencil in who are swinging a hot bat.
Easton Breyfogle, one of them. Had that 2 RBI single in the 5th. Scored those tying runs. Really just an opposite field knock into the infield. Tanner Marsh kind of ate him up a little bit. He made a nice throw over, but the speed from Breifogel had him reaching safely. Yesterday, Gatemen blew the lead in the 8th, pitching a no-hitter 7 2/3 through. Alex Sosa, 2 RBI single up the middle, tied the game at 3-all. And then in the 9th, what does Breifogel do to start us off? Opposite field double, scored the winning run. 0-2, runner goes. Pitch in the dirt, no throw down from Conti. Easy 90 feet for Van Scheen. 8th steal of the season for him.
And it's tough when you're banged up like Breifogel, especially when you're a speed guy, you're a 5-tool player. But listen, I think for him, it's just seeing at-bats consistently.
1-2 pitch, misses high. First games this season that Breifogel has hits in consecutive. Just kind of just seesawing that line. All 3 games this year that he's been without. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Funny as that. 2-2, fouls one away.
I'm just waiting for him to get a pitch to turn on because we've just seen it in batting.
Well, he's in the home run
practice.
derby for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he really is just a 5-tool guy. I think it really is just getting the timing, the at-bats day to day, the wood bat adjustment. He's been here now for a little bit, but again, not a ton of games for him.
2-2. Chopper down the first baseline. Easy snag for Wolf. And a toss back to Reach covering the bag. 3 outs. Shane left stranded on, but something tells me the Gatemen might just be okay. 13-7 Wareham lead. We head to the top of the 9th with Harwich down to the final 3 outs here on Cape League TV.
For personalized coverage and service that you can count on, the choice.
Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website, www.rkm-law.com.
Located on Route 6 on the Wareham-Marion line.
This broadcast is a copyrighted production of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Any unauthorized duplication, retransmission, or other use is strictly prohibited. We're in the 9th inning. Hudson Rowan, a solid 4 innings of action, pitched 5 through 8. And now Wareham just 3 outs away from grabbing the 6th straight win of the season. While Griffin O'Connor warms up, we'll take a look around Cape Cod, see what all the other teams are up to. Only 2 more still in action. Brewster and Falmouth, as well as YD and Katuitt, went final a while ago. 12-3 win for the Whitecaps, 8-5 for the Red Sox. Still in action, Bourne 7-5 advantage heading into the 9th against Hyannis, so a chance for the Braves to put away that one, grab the 11th win of the year. Chatham up narrowly ahead of Orleans. Firebirds have a runner on third with 2 outs in the 8th, so a chance to tie that game up at 6. That Hyannis-Bourne game, Cory, we've talked about Katuitt and Falmouth both losing. Katuitt tied with Wareham for the top of the West Division right now. Falmouth just a point behind. Hyannis in that same boat. So if they can lose, all those teams lost today. Hyannis just 3 outs away from that same fate, down by 2. Gives the Gatemen just some more insurance, as the season continues, second half of the year, and then you play Katuitt tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Wareham looking at these scores, I think this is your dream scenario. Bourne looks like maybe the only team in your division who wins, but they were the last place team anyways, the farthest away from you. So you get 3 outs. You have sole possession of first place back to 500, and there is that breathing room with Falmouth losing, hopefully Hyannis losing, and a chance to create more of it tomorrow.
First pitch fastball finds the corner on D. Kennedy. He's moved into left field. Took over for Nico Brini. So the Gatemen at 24 points, Katuitt at the same. Hyannis and Falmouth both tied at 23. Bourne at 21. West Division just so close. If the Braves come out on top, they'll be at 23, same as Hyannis and Falmouth. The Gatemen hold on to this 13-7 win, grab these final 3 outs. They'll be up to 26. Katuitt at 24. So it would be a 3-way tie for third, or last, however you want to look at it. Katuitt would be in solo second place, and the Gatemen in solo first. Just incredible how fast things can change from a week and a half ago. The Gatemen lost 5 straight to open the month of July. 1-2 pitch. Fastball up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It really is incredible, and the nature of the success and then lack of success for the teams initially in the top of the standing center, July, Hyannis and Falmouth, their lack of success, and then on the other side, Katuitt and Wareham, their success made all this possible and led to the congestion.
O'Connor delivers, skips in the dirt ahead of Carnes, and a payoff coming up to Kennedy.
It's been so interesting to just witness Katuitt and Wareham go from the 2 bottom feeders of the division, Wareham 5 straight losses, to just such a 3-6, and at the same time, Hyannis and Falmouth have done the opposite.
3-2 misses away, and a leadoff walk for Kennedy puts 1 on and no one out.
And if you're Wareham, I think you obviously have earned this top spot in the division. It doesn't happen without, obviously, Hyannis and Falmouth's struggle, so it's definitely helpful. I mean, this doesn't happen if the Harborhawks and the Commodores played better baseball as of late. It's probably a situation where you have the Kettleers and the Gatemen maybe still on the heels of the Commodores and the Harborhawks right behind them for first place. But, again, listen, the way the Gatemen have played, they deserve some of those breaks.
First pitch lined up the middle. That drifts into center field. Cruzen cuts it off. Kennedy stops at second. 2 on, nobody out. First pitch single for Nico Brini.
Now batting the catcher, number 13, Scott Dunn.
There was a lot of talk, Cory, coming into yesterday, really, how last place in the East would have been first in the West. If scores hold as of right now, that would completely change. A win over Harwich would drop the Mariners to 11-11-3. Orleans does tie the game against Chatham, so that one could remain to be seen. Chance for the Firebirds to jump the Mariners in the standings. But depending on the outcome in the rest of these games, it would only be second place that would have a higher record and point total than the Gatemen. It's Brewster and YD, the top 2 teams in the league. 1-0 to Conti. Breaking ball just misses.
And as a whole, the teams in the East, record-wise, have been more successful than the ones in the West. But at the same time, no one in that division has run away with it at all. Thought Brewster might to begin the season, 6 straight wins. For opening day, YD had the 9-game winning streak.
2-0 fouled up in the air. Carnes drifts over near the netting. Does he have a play? He does. He makes a diving grab. So check that, not Conti, but instead Scott Donahue. Either way, the result the same. Pop out back to Carnes, out number 1 in the 9th.
Now batting the right fielder, number 5.
That's such a tough play as a catcher because you don't have a lot of room and the ability to have to adjust from trying to catch a baseball to now whipping off your mask and having to locate that baseball as it comes back down. It was way up there. Glad Carnes had room and had that last-minute adjustment. Really nice play.
Gooden takes a fastball downstairs, 1-0. And you get into a matchup tomorrow, Cory, at Katuitt. Scores hold, top 2 teams in the West, which is funny because for a majority of the end of June and early July, these were the bottom 2 teams.
Yep.
You're going into Katuitt, third matchup of the season, second at Lowell Park. If you're Wareham, what are you thinking? I mean, Harwich clearly showed that the pitching staff can kind of be exploited a little bit, but the bats are still there.
I think you have to realize that you just have to roll with the punches. You don't know how the game's going to be played. It might be a pitcher's duel. It might be another slugfest like it was when these two teams played on the 6th. And so the Gatemen have been fine with that over the course of this win streak. Some games have been a pitcher's duel, really low scoring. The offense has given the pitching staff enough to be successful and win. Some days like tonight, it's been the offense. I think when both are going well and both are successful, you're fine with that. You just have to be ready for whatever the game is, whatever the outcome may look like. You have to roll with the punches and be able to adjust.
Well, the good news for the Gatemen, on the mound for Wareham tomorrow, Tate McGuire. He enters with a 2.25 ERA. Quick preview for him. Righty out of Arkansas. Second year with the team. 2-1. Whiff and a miss. Coonan brings the count back to 2-2.
And that's who you want. Obviously, a lot of great Gateman pitchers who are throwing well at the moment. But Tate McGuire was so good last summer. He's come back here. He's looked strong through his first handful of outings. Really slots in nicely against a rival and a much-needed win.
O'Connor deals. Pitch misses away. That'll be a first pitch, 5 o'clock at Lowell Park. Catch Cory and I on YouTube and on Cape League TV. Two matchups this season. Most recent, 16-9 win for the Gatemen. The first, a 2-1 Kettleers win. Ball gets by Carnes. Runners advance either way. A walk to Jake Coonan loads the bases with 1 out here in the 9th. Yeah, that 2-1 win, Cory, it was scoreless heading into the 10th. It was an extra inning walk-off win for the Kettleers. Jared Davis was on second. Colby Turner had an RBI single, scored the first run, and then Gateman gave up 2 in the home half. Lost that one, dropped to 0-2 on the year. Inouye takes a breaking ball on the corner.
Yeah, and Katuitt lately has emerged as a team offensively that's one to be reckoned with. Now top of the league in terms of average. They've put up some crooked numbers, 19 runs against Brewster not too long ago. So, again, there is the possibility it's another pitcher's duel. I would tend to doubt it. Listen, there haven't been a ton of games this season where the Gatemen have put up double-digit runs where the next game they've turned around and done the same thing. It's certainly possible. It's just, given those trends, it hasn't really worked out that way. Yeah, on the road, but you never know.
Katuitt first in average, Gateman third. Katuitt first in on-base percentage, Gateman 7th. And slugging Wareham first. That's why they're in the lead in OPS. Liner over into left field. Diving catch from Colin Ritchie. Makes the grab. Kennedy tags up and scores. It's 13-8. But you get that second out. That's all that Griffin O'Connor really cares about at this point.
Yeah, at this point, you're in the business of getting outs. That 1 run certainly not going to make a difference, not going to make a dent in the score. Still 2 runners on, but if you're O'Connor, you're focused on the batter and the fact that you are 1 out away from your 6th straight win.
With the 3 home runs tonight, Gateman up to 24 on the season. It's first across the Cape Cod by 4, Falmouth in second. Certainly in a pitcher-friendly ballpark as well. Chopper over to third, drifts foul. Probably could have ended it, but we'll do it again.
Yeah, and the Gatemen have showed, even in the confines of Spillane Field, more pitcher-friendly. They're launching them out here tonight.
That's not just us that say that. Brian Smythe has those same thoughts as well, his 3rd year with the team. Knows that it takes a lot to try and drive some balls out of the yard, especially into left center, and right. 1-1 on Maloney. 2 outs in the 9th. Harwich will need a miracle at this point. It's all but over. 1-1 O'Connor. Misses in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike.
Just trying to throw strikes right now with a nice cushion at hand. Don't want to keep putting base runners on, see more batters. Maloney's had just one at bat so far tonight, so try and make him swing the bat. Stay in and around the zone.
Delivery home. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Harwich down to the final strike. It's been a pretty long game, Corey. It's 9:26. We're approaching the 3.5-hour mark. That's what happens when you get 21 combined runs. 13 from the Gatemen. O'Connor just a pitch away. His 2-2. Taken outside for a ball. You can hear the Gatemen dugout saying that was a strike last inning.
They've played 3.5 hours. They obviously
want to go home.
Yep. Looked like it was right there.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Chase your losses no more. The Gatemen are back to 500 for the first time in nearly a month. 13-8 over the Mariners. And Wareham in solo possession of first place in the West. Make that 6 in a row and 7 of the last 8.
The Gatemen are hot. Piping hot. 6 in a row. You said it. Obviously, they came into this game in first place, the tie with Katuitt, but you don't want to have split possession of that first place spot. You want that designation all for yourself. What a win for the Gatemen to go down 2-0 after the top of the first, and then they were down by 2 once again after Harwich played it 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 1 in the fifth. They come back and tie it and just continue to add on. Wasn't a pitcher's duel, but listen, whatever the Gatemen have needed to get done over the course of this win streak, they have gotten done.
Seems like every game they found a different way to win. Whether it be attack early and never look back, whether it be not score until the bitter, bitter end, and then pull it off in a miracle fashion, or you score a lot and you give up a lot and you still come out on top like they did tonight. A win is a win. You head into a matchup against the Kettleers tomorrow. That'll be a 5 o'clock first pitch from Lowell Park. And what a matchup that will be, Corey. Top 2 teams in the West.
Top 2 teams in the West and 2 teams who have completely reversed their season and flipped the script. 4th and 5th in the standings not too long ago. Katuitt, obviously, we've already talked about in the first 2 matchups. They beat Wareham to end the season last summer. Obviously, 2 completely different squads, but 2 rivals, 2 teams the past years that are more than accustomed to each other. It's hard to know, as we talked about, what to predict, whether it's a pitcher's duel, another slugfest, but I think the one thing we can predict, it's going to be a highly contested game. Emotions are going to run high. These 2 teams are vying for that top spot in the division. For tonight, though, it's the Gatemans.
Yeah, well, it's been a long night, just about 3.5 hours, and I'm pretty excited for tomorrow, Corey. I know you are as well, but we're going to have to wait until 5 o'clock when Katuitt and Wareham square off. But for now, for our producers, Chuck Luarasi and Abby Smith, our sideline reporter, Rayna Maggelet, for Corey Miller, I'm Josh Richardson. The Gatemen come away with a win against Harwich, 13-8 for the 6th straight this season.